time for Colonels basketball. The Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country. So glad that you could join us. I'm Kyle Haney. With me again tonight is the always prepared, the ever-ready Agent Zero, Oscar Briggs. And Oscar, back-to-back basketball, back-to-back elimination games. Win or go home, survive and advance. It's what the playoffs are all about.
And it gets tougher every game, too. This Middlesex team, the Middlesex Chargers that we're facing tonight, regular season, 15-4. A little bit unique situation. The weather caught them up Conference 42, and they did not have a conference tournament. But they were big winners in the first round of the regionals, so they are now 16-4. So formidable opponent tonight for the Colonels. Yeah, it's a good ball club in town taking on the Altavista Colonels. It's about a 3-hour and 20-minute or so drive by car, so probably took a little bit longer on the Middlesex bus. Perhaps that's an advantage for the Colonels. It always seems like it's an advantage playing in front of this home crowd, playing in front of the pep band, which has come alive here to greet the teams. And, again, glad that you could join us. If you're riding around town, swing on by the gym. You're going to see a very good basketball game. I got a chance to catch up with the head coach, Mike Cartolaro. Talked about the Colonels' big win last night. That was 63-40 over Essex in a game that was tied at halftime. And, Oscar, before we get to the interview very quickly, let's talk about that game for a second. Wow, what a third quarter by the Colonels. It was a tremendous third quarter, and we talked about what they would have to do at the half to come out, and they did. Of course, Essex scored first and went up 31-29, and then the Colonels just, at that point, just completely took over and held Essex to 9 points the remainder of the game. That's right, 9 points the rest of the ball game, with only 2 Essex players scoring in the second half. Incredible defensive effort that the Altavista Colonels put together, and they mixed in some man-to-man defense. They mixed in some zone defense, too. I'll ask Coach C about that as well. Yeah, which always makes big news when the Colonels go zone. I mean, it's happened twice this year. So right, everybody else does it. It's ho-hum. But when the Colonels drop into a zone, it's anything but. Let's hear from the head coach. This is the Subway pregame show. Some big news about Subway and Altavista after we turn the corner and talk to the head coach. It's the Chargers. It's the Colonels. It's East Region 1A semifinal action, and you've got yourself a ringside seat on 105.5 KD Country.
My friends call me the perfectionist. At English's Building Supply, my neighborhood Glidden paint dealer, they greet me by name. You see, I like to get things exactly right, especially when it comes to my painting projects. So I'm at English's Building Supply a lot, whether it's mixing the perfect Glidden paint for my project or offering great incentives. They do business just the way I like it, perfectly. English's on North Main Street, Altavista.
We thought was, the heart and soul of the team, and playing point guard for them, they stretched the defense pretty well. And, our guys realized their backs were to the wall, down to maybe your last half of basketball.
Yeah, sometimes that is enough to get everybody going. Not to beat a dead horse, but you do go back to the zone again. You used it earlier in the season for a little bit at Dan River, this time more extended. Did you have a hunch going into the game that you might want to use it, or was it just something that came up there at halftime?
Well, the way we were playing defensively, we had bad matchups in a lot of spots, and we're a bigger team right now. And sometimes you just can't find the right matchup for certain teams. So, our guys, I thought when we got in it, they had a lot of energy, and it caught Essex off guard. I think they had 3 or 4 straight possessions where it was a turnover or a bad shot, and that stretched a 2-3-point game to about 10 or 12. So really it was a difference in the game. And, it just, the game called for that, and we took a shot, and it worked.
I thought Juan and Michi in the third quarter really stepped their game up and provided you guys a nice spark. They've done that a lot in their career, but, Juan distributing, then he hit the 2 threes, and Michi, when he picked the guy's pocket from behind, we didn't see him coming. I thought maybe that was kind of the backbreaker. You could really see it deflated Essex. Talk about those 2 guys and the big third quarter they had.
Yeah, I mean, they really took over, and, they're seniors. They've been playing forever. And they could see that their careers were on the line, and they stepped up. And you're right, Michi's wolfing the ball from behind, and the pick made it a big deal. I mean, Juan's 2 threes on the wing were huge. Michi actually slid out to point and put Juan over on the wing. So, that's seniors that have been around for a long time, just stepping up and trying to keep the season going.
Well, I'm sure more of that is going to be called upon tonight. The Middlesex Chargers in town. We don't know much about this team. You haven't had much time to prepare. Tell us what you know about Middlesex.
Very athletic, typical of the Tidewater teams. Quickness. They're not real big, but they're not tiny. Got a couple of 6'2s inside. Got an all-regional guard in Marquez Holmes, I think is his name. He can really shoot it and jump well. Got a little freshman point guard that's a terrific player. And they're coming in. I think they've won 10 in a row, maybe. I mean, they may be 18-4 or 19-4 or something like that. So, this is a time of year everybody's good, and it's one game shot for everyone. So it's a very dangerous team. I think they're going to mix up defensively on us. Concerns tonight, obviously, with their quickness is getting back in defense, and no easy baskets for them, and hopefully being able to control the glass and being able to beat them inside.
One last question with Mike Cartolaro here, the head coach of the Altavista Colonels, before we get to the shout-outs. A couple weeks ago, a month or so ago, it seems like it was the 3-game week, then the 4-game week before that, back-to-back games all season. Is part of you kind of glad that you played some of those back-to-back games earlier in the year to get ready for this?
Well, we've kind of felt like that the way the season was going to get pushed back, that we were going to be confronted with this in regular season. We knew that, but also maybe playoff time. So we're hoping it's going to pay off for us, not being too tired and not shocked that we're playing back-to-back. And, if you survive, you're playing 3 and 4. But we've done all that. We've gone back-to-back. We played 3 in a row. We played 4 in 5 days. So we're hoping that the experience of that during the regular season is going to pan out for us.
Absolutely. You have plenty of experience with the shout-outs, and the list is pretty much set. But, again, we'd love to have some more people to add here as it is playoff basketball time.
Yeah, Wednesday night shout-outs to my dad and William Kerr and his family. I think my cousin Kelly's listening in. Ann and Chris are actually in Florida with Minnie. I know they're listening. Micah has been listening to WKDE up in Northern Virginia. I'm sure he's trying to get some baseball practice in, which is difficult, as you know.
Yeah. Same thing tomorrow, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Glenn and Linda Miller, our faithful sponsors for our camp and for Altavista Basketball, Pug and Bob Finch. And big shout-out to my daughter Ashley, who works at Buffalo Wild Wings. Buffalo Wild Wings supplied our pregame meal. It was a very nice spread. So hopefully that's going to help us see if we can advance.
Absolutely. Survive and advance. Elimination basketball one more time here. Middlesex and Altavista. Tip in about 10 on 105.5 KD Country.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving families since 1905.
Life is full of opportunities to show someone we love them. One such opportunity is the funeral or memorial service. Finch and Finch helps you celebrate the relationships they shared and honors the memory of your loved one.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving families since 1905.
Hello, this is Mitch Haley with Altavista Appliance, Home and Lawn Center. I would like to take this time to thank KD Country for the advertising opportunities they have provided me this past year. I would also like to thank our customers for making 2014 such a great year. It is because of your continuous support that we are able to expand our business and offer you more than we ever had in 2015. Come see us today at Altavista Appliance, Home and Lawn Center, where you can shop small and save big.
Visit their newly remodeled showroom on 7th Street.
Unfortunately, I have some bad news.
How bad is it, Doctor?
We've done all we can. Your heat pump's not gonna make it.
Oh, no.
Honey, it's going to be okay. We'll call Select Air Mechanical and Electrical, 332-2600. With over 60 years experience, they'll have us comfortable again in no time.
I recommend Select Air to all my patients. Call 332-2600 or visit selectairmechanical.com. They can handle all your home comfort needs, and they're an authorized trained dealer. It's hard to stop a train.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
The pregame show returns here from the Altavista High School Gymnasium. It's the Colonels taking on the visiting Middlesex Chargers out there from the eastern part of the state again, out there on the peninsula, Oscar, a little bit east of Richmond, a little bit northeast of Williamsburg. They used to play in that old Tidewater district with Matthews and West Point. Some of those familiar names for Colonel fans, and now not really any districts anymore, but I'm sure they still tackle most of those teams in the regular season. And this again, before we recap last night's game, let's go ahead and throw it out there. Another quality opponent that the Colonels are going to have to knock off if they want the season to continue.
Well, you talked about them being in about that district and whatever. Not only are they in Conference 42, but they alluded to it in their record. The press did that they were in the Tidewater. They went 12-0 in the Tidewater district. So they, just like always, just like here we recognize the Dogwood, they still recognize the Tidewater district, and it is another quality opponent because they went 12-0 in the district and 10-0 in Conference 42. So again, formidable opponent tonight. Young, athletic, and again, not a lot of seniors on this team, and not a lot of height either.
He had 3 seniors listed on the roster, 4 seniors on the roster, just one of them in the starting lineup. We'll get to that a little bit later on as this Subway pregame show cruises on here for this playoff basketball contest. The big news about Subway that we want to share, Oscar, is Subway of Altavista is expanding. We've got 2 great locations to service now. We're going to have 3 coming up pretty soon. The Altavista Subway crew, Robert Duff, is going to be taking over the Subway there in the Foster Fuels on 29. It's technically in Rustburg, but I'm sure all of our local fans are familiar with that location, probably drive by it on a semi-regular basis, and it'll be great to have that option there. Of course, Robert's going to bring his top-notch customer service and the way he does things to that location. And it's a nice location, especially if you're one of those people that heads back and forth to Lynchburg a lot.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. And, the Foster Fuels name is easily recognized. And that location right there with the other restaurants that are there, Robert Duff gets a hold of that Subway, puts his stamp on it with the customer service, and he'll turn that store around, and it'll be an added asset to that community.
Absolutely. Transition should be complete pretty much by the end of this month, and you may start noticing changes even before then, but we do encourage you to stop by the Subway there in Foster Fuels. So now, of course, Oscar, we'll have to break the habit that we always say about the Subway pregame show, 2 great locations to serve you. You got to watch me and make sure I say 3 from now on.
But think about it. As we make road trips going to other schools, we can use that 3rd convenient location to our advantage.
Oh, I plan on taking full advantage of it. It was Egg White Wednesday today for me. I put that the new Subway vinaigrette. They're advertising that Subway vinaigrette for the Turkey Italiano sub, which is very good. I know you had that yesterday. I said
and today.
You doubled up on it, back-to-back. Back-to-back basketball. Oscar went back-to-back Turkey Italiano. I dig it for sure, and I put that vinaigrette on the Egg White sandwich, and it went just fine with that. I definitely encourage folks to try that out. I mentioned back-to-back. Colonels did play last night, 63-40 over the Essex Trojans. What a ball game there in the first half. Bunch of ties, bunch of lead changes. I think it was 5 ties, 6 lead changes. And then the Colonels actually fell behind there to start the 3rd quarter. Essex scored first, but then Essex did not score much after that in the 3rd. It was a 20-2 run there in that 3rd quarter that the Colonels really used to just, as I mentioned to Coach C, springboard them to victory. Essex really had no answers after that.
No, the Colonels came out and had an 18-11 lead after the 1st quarter, and then the teams kind of exactly flipped scores with Essex scoring 18 and Altavista scoring 11, and you said it's tied 29 all at the half, and again, Essex scored the first bucket, went up 31-29, and that 20-2 run was something to behold. Juan Thornhill said Michi Malbeck had a little advice for him on his jump shot, figured out what he was doing, and something with his release, and told him that at the half, and it paid off. Juan back-to-back 3-pointers for the first time I can remember all year.
Yeah, Juan has hit some threes this year, but I think you're right. I don't recall him making 2 in a game. We'll go back and check the record books for sure. Colonels as a team hit 7 from long distance, and that's a pretty good number right there, particularly when you're talking about how good they are inside. Then all of a sudden you had the outside game too. It's a tough animal to stop, and then certainly in that 3rd quarter, animal is about the only word to describe that team. They were just moving on all cylinders, tenacious, gave them the claws out there. They were uncaged and ready to roar.
And you get to this point in late postseason, and you give up 11 points. That's right, 11 points and a half to a team. That is just locked down defense, and that's what the Colonels did. And they did it with a combination of man-to-man. They did throw that zone in, and it really, really disrupted Essex. And even after Altavista went back to the man-to-man, Essex was down 13-14 and just could never get their offense back going again and couldn't recover.
And in addition to the defense, Oscar, it was the rebounding as well. Colonel's, very good on the glass. Demetrius, 12 boards. Darius, 6 boards. McClure, 6 boards. Thornhill, 6 rebounds. And everybody else sprinkled in a few here and there. And that was the thing. I mean, not only was the defense great, but Essex didn't get a lot of second chance buckets either. There was a lot of one and done there, and that due in large part not only to the defense, but the rebounding as well.
Well, and we said that was going to be a key in the second half as well, and they did up their efforts on the glass. And really Josh McClure, again, played a huge part. A lot of his were on the offensive end. Kept the ball alive, gave the Colonels another opportunity to shoot. A lot of them turned into free throws. So, again, nice job on the boards by Josh. Again, Juan with 6. It was a great team effort in the second half.
It was a solid team effort all the way around. This is our team. I'm Kyle Haney. He's Oscar Briggs. Our sound engineer, Eleanor, back at home base, was in Subway with me, taking in all the festivities. And glad that you have joined us if you're listening on 105.5 around town, or maybe you're listening at kdcountry.com. And I put out the word on social media on the Middlesex Facebook page, Oscar, that they could listen. So hello to everybody listening down that way. Hopefully some of you tuned in already, and hopefully more to come as the game rolls on. We were talking about Altavista's big win over Essex last night to get them to this point. Middlesex tonight. And let's turn our attention back to the visitors here in this one, Oscar. They present some problems because, like you said, they do have some size, 6'2", 6'1", 5'11", and Coach Cartolaro mentioned it on the pregame interview. Not a lot of huge trees inside, but there's not a lot of tiny guys to take advantage of either. Everybody's about the same height, and it'll be interesting to see how the Colonels match up against that defensively.
Yeah, certainly they won't be looking at 6'3", 6'4" wings like they did last night, and again, that caused quite a disruption in the first half for the brothers Johnson and for Donovan Montague, but again, they adjusted, and Colonels will have a little bit of a height advantage. Middlesex, scouting report on them is speed, so we'll just have to see how that plays out. Not that Altavista doesn't have speed.
Colonels love to get out and run, and they've certainly showcased that multiple times this season. They really have been doing it a lot lately. I think back to that 89-point output against Cumberland in the conference championship game where they were up and down the court like greased lightning.
And 79-38 against Lunenburg. That's getting up and down the floor as well.
Excellent point. This is, again, the Subway pregame show for the Altavista Colonels taking on the Middlesex Chargers. It is semifinal action of East Region 1A basketball. Winner of this one, we should also point out, Oscar, if we haven't already, does advance to state tournament play. You don't have to win the regional championship game. You'd certainly like to, but if you win this one, you get a little bit of a safe haven to where you get at least 2 more ball games. And the Colonels, again, have been in this position a bunch since you and I have been watching them play. They've been in this position back-to-back times in the last 2 years. Of course, Altavista, the reigning and defending back-to-back 1A state champions for boys basketball. We're almost set for the light show and, of course, the national anthem preceding that. Before we get to that, let me mention some more about Subway, of course, our fine pregame sponsor, the new grilled chicken strips here at Subway. No artificial preservatives, no artificial flavors. The all-white meat premium cut chicken that is expertly prepared, lightly seasoned, and then grilled to perfection. The new grilled chicken strips at Subway, they taste better, they are better, and they would go pretty good with that Subway vinaigrette as well. So, again, don't feel like you have to just use that stuff on the turkey Italiano. Good crowd in the gym tonight. Again, about 80% full already. Expected to fill up a little bit more. Middlesex has brought some fans on the road with them. About the same as Essex probably last night, Oscar, don't you think? That section behind the benches is scattered with about 50% capacity.
Yeah, I think it looks very close to the crowd. Maybe even from the Altavista side, about the same as last night.
Pep band is in the house, of course, for the Altavista Colonels. Student section is strong in our general vicinity, and the Altavista bench, the stands that they have behind that, is really completely full. And like I said, more people filing out from the front lobby as we speak. Hopefully you're on your way down and you have us tuned in. And hopefully you won't miss a second of this action live. But if you do, we're here for you. Let's step aside for the national anthem. It's the tip-off between the Altavista Colonels and the Middlesex Chargers right after this on 105.5 KD Country.
What do basketball, choir, drama club, and marching band all have in common? They're all high school activities that offer learning opportunities not necessarily found in the classroom. They take up just a fraction of a typical Virginia high school's budget, and they go a long way to giving young people the tools they need to thrive. High school activities, they're more than extracurricular. They're extra important, too.
Brought to you by English Construction Company with offices in Lynchburg.
Some people have never tried food at a Mexican restaurant. So we asked Chad Shelton from Shelton's Plumbing and Heating about his experience.
I wasn't so sure what the green stuff was, but they slipped some on my plate one day, and now I won't have a meal without guacamole. Still can't spell it.
At El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, if you have questions, they give you the answers in English. Mexican and American foods, affordable prices, and fast service. Try it today, El Cazador, Main Street, Altavista.
Life happens. Divorce, family problems, criminal charges, civil litigation, personal injury cases. Turn to David W. Shreve, an experienced attorney at law. David W. Shreve has been practicing law for 30-plus years. Free consultation for personal injury cases. Call today, 369-6621. 369-6621. David W. Shreve. Good luck to the Altavista basketball team in the playoffs. Go Colonels. David W. Shreve, located 7th Street, Altavista.
Your home for Colonel sports coverage. 105.5 KD Country.
Starting lineup time on the Subway pregame show before we get to Altavista and Middlesex. Let's tell you our starting lineup. First National Bank, focused on providing an extraordinary customer experience. El Cazador, a great place for family and friends to dine. English's, your complete home center, and your Glidden Paint headquarters. David W. Shreve, attorney at law. When life happens, call David W. Shreve. Select Air, mechanical and electrical, your authorized train dealer. It's hard to stop a train. Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service, a family serving families since 1905. The lights go out here in Altavista, and you probably hear the big roar from the crowd. It's a sight to behold, and unfortunately, if you're not here for this one, Oscar, you're not going to be able to see it again until next season. Altavista Appliance. Come visit them at their new location on 7th Street in Altavista. Feller's Chevrolet, a short drive will save you money. Sonny Merriman, Virginia's premier bus company. English Construction, wishing our high school athletes an exciting and injury-free game. Your live internet broadcast at kdcountry.com is brought to you by Chris Owen, your Allstate agent in Lynchburg. Go online, get a quote from Chris Owen today. Playoff basketball fans are always in good hands with Allstate agent Chris Owen. That goes for you, people listening down there in the Middlesex area as well. Chris Owen will give you a quote, might even be able to save you some money. Starters first for the visitors, the Middlesex Chargers. They're going to go with number 12, a 6'2 forward, Sean Johnson. Number 20, a 6'1 senior, Jacob Self. Number 30, Marquez Holmes. He's a 5'8 junior guard. Number 32, a 6'1 sophomore center, Trey King. And number 10, a 5'9 freshman. Yes, just a freshman in the starting lineup. That's Raquan Marshall. They're coached by John Hatch, assisted by Benny Burrell, Aaron Dodge, and Mike Reed for the Altavista Colonels. Looks like the same starting lineup we've become familiar with, Oscar.
Yeah, they're going all seniors, and that starts with number 1, Michi Malbeck, number 2, Juan Thornhill, number 3, 6'5", Donovan Montague, number 5, Demetrius Johnson, and number 10, brothers Darius Johnson. Again, all seniors in pursuit of that three-peat state championship.
Looking for 3 in a row on the basketball court. I've dubbed it the drive for 5 because guys like Thornhill, the brothers Johnson, Michi Malbeck, and also Nelson Dews looking for their 5th state title ring when you combine the two sports. They got 4 right now. That's pretty good. They would love to add even more hardware to not only the trophy case, but just to their knuckles. Coach Cartolaro in his usual dark gray slacks, black turtleneck, black shoes. Colonels are in the home whites, orange Altavista written over the black numeral, outlined in orange trim down the side of the shorts. Everybody's got gray socks, and most everybody except for Michi Malbeck has gray shoes, and you went and asked Michi about the black shoes, and it was a pretty simple answer, just like the way they feel a little bit.
Yeah, that's exactly what the answer was. You know, Michi's worn some gray ones, he's worn some black ones, and I asked him about it. I said, Michi, what's the method to the madness? He said, just like the way they feel.
Well, no denying that, no arguing that. Middlesex sporting the navy blue with the light blue trim, so it's sort of similar to a UNC color scheme. Not much white in the jersey. Chargers written in cursive over the number, and the number is kind of offset to the left a little bit, almost like a baseball jersey would have the number offset over there on the left. Jump circle is Darius Johnson. He sends it back. Montague couldn't get his hands on it. He got a piece of it. It was collected by number 30, Marquez Holmes. Shot up and good. Chargers are on the board first after the opening tip. Just 10 seconds have gone by, and they got some full court zone pressure. Montague in trouble on the near sideline. Bounces it off of Jacob Self. Chargers coming out fast and furious. High-energy basketball here, Oscar.
And that was Sean Johnson. Had a career-high 23 earlier a couple of weeks ago, so he's a formidable opponent as well.
Colonels do break the full court press after the inbound. They get it in the Malbec right-hand corner. Looks like still a zone defense for the Chargers. Thornhill, 3-ball up and good. Juan Thornhill will bust things open with a three-pointer. Colonels up one after the long ball from number 2, Juan Thornhill.
And you got to give Michi Malbec the assist on both ends of that,
right.
Literally and figuratively.
He helped Juan out with the stroke a little bit last night. I'm sure they dived into it a little bit more tonight. 7:15 left to play to select their first quarter. Self has it. Head of the key, guarded by Donovan Montague. Got to get rid of it. 5-second count coming. They throw it in the backcourt. That's a violation. Colonels basketball after the turnover there. Good D from Donovan Montague.
Yeah, and I think you're going to see the Colonels a little bit come out a little bit more aggressive and not a little bit quicker start than we saw last night.
You could be absolutely right, Oscar. Trying to diagnose the zone myself, which I'm sure the Colonels are doing as well. I think it's just the old 1-3-1.
That's exactly what it is. It's a 1-3-1.
Colonels have seen a lot more 2-3 zones this year. Not as much 1-3-1, but they have faced it at times. Michi Malbec steps into a three-pointer. Bingo! Malbec fires it in from long range. Colonels up 6-2 after three-pointers from Thornhill and Malbec.
And that's the way they started last night, except it was 2 3-pointers from Michi Malbec. But the first 2 baskets were 3.
Thornhill's got a steal, and he's going the other way. Got Michi out in front. Juan to the dish. Right-handed jam. You've got to hear the crowd come alive here from Altavista High School. Get on your feet. Juan Thornhill says the same thing. Let's take a timeout. Middlesex is going to take one with us. 8-2. Colonels on top. 6.5 left to play the first on 105.5 KD Country.
Virginia's oldest and most experienced bus company, Sunny Merriman Incorporated, along with their employees and families, joined together to congratulate the Altavista High School athletic teams for their outstanding sports seasons. Sunny Merriman wishes you the best in the playoffs and in your quest to bring home more state championship trophies to our community. Go Colonels, make us proud.
Your station for high school sports play-by-play is 105.5 KD Country.
Middlesex basketball out of the timeout. Runner put up from 5 feet by Dre King goes in, so making an 8-4 Altavista Colonel lead. Struggling to break the full court pressure again. They do. Montague picks it up at the timeline, just inside of it in the front court. Demetrius Johnson throws it left wing to Michi Malbec. Thornhill overhead pass to Darius Johnson, left baseline. Darius shot up and fouled. First time, really, that Darius or Demetrius had touched the basketball much on that possession right there. And it sends Darius Johnson to the free throw line to shoot a pair. 5:58 remaining in the first.
And much earlier in the ball game that they were able to get the ball down on in the post based off their offense than they were last night.
First free throw rattles in for Darius Johnson. Last home game of the year for the Altavista Colonels. Fans are getting their money's worth already, Oscar. 2 3-pointers, a dunk from Juan Thornhill. Exciting stuff. Darius converts both. 10-4. Colonels up 6 again. Middlesex into the front court. That's Raekwon Marshall, the freshman. Gets it back after a return pass. Dribbling. Got around Malbec. Floater up off the window. Won't fall, but he'll fall. Hits the deck hard. Helped up by Darius Johnson. And he's going to go to the free throw line to shoot 2. With 5:45 remaining in the Select Air first quarter. 10-4. The Altavista Colonel lead.
Well, Raekwon Marshall turned the corner on Michi Malbec. You don't see many people do that.
Marshall's got great speed. You can tell he's an electric player, and he's just a freshman. First free throw, no good. First quarter brought to you by Select Air. Donnie and the gang will fix any electrical or mechanical problem, including ACs, heat pumps, and more, and you'll be at your house fast. Marshall tries the second, and that one is good. 10-5, the Altavista Colonel lead. Demetrius Johnson on the inbound. Gets it into Montague. Double team in the corner right in front of us. Looking for help. Bounces it along the left sideline to Demetrius Johnson. Johnson dribbles his way through traffic. Ball back, catches, thinks about the three. Steps inside the arc for a long two. No good from the left wing jump shot. Middlesex in a hurry. Marshall to the bucket. Shot won't fall. Juan Thornhill on the rebound. He'll bring it up the far sideline himself. In and out of traffic.
What a
bounce pass to Demetrius Johnson. Demetrius fouled as he was on the way up. That's in the act of shooting. Shot never really got out of his hands, but it was a nice dish from Thornhill that set it off.
And make no mistake about what Middlesex's offensive strategy is. It is push, push, push.
Yep. Get it down quick. Get some shots up quick. They might be one of those teams that's on a 10-second shot clock in their head. Demetrius makes the first. To put the Thornhill three-pointers into perspective, Oscar, coming into the game last night, he had 3 on the season. He's hit 3 just in the last 24 hours. And they've all been pretty big, too. Second one cashed in by Demetrius Johnson, 12-5. Colonel's lead with 5:22 left in the quarter.
Probably 3 in the last 23 hours.
That's right. That's right, because those 3s last night came in the third quarter, so I think you're probably right on that. Middlesex into the front court. Full court man-to-man pressure early here for the Altavista Colonels. That's Holmes now over to Marshall. Marshall dribbling, left hand, backing away from the bucket, stolen by Juan Thornhill. Thornhill had a steam to the hoop. Left hand lay-in will go in. 14-5. Colonels on top. Another steal from Thornhill. Juan's putting together a great first quarter.
4:57 remaining. Colonels leading 14-5. Here in the first quarter, Colonels playing tough defense.
Johnson working to his left. There's a steal by Malback, but they will whistle him with the foul. Banged into the hip of Raekwon Marshall and sent Marshall into the first row of the cheering section. Officials got it right. I'll tell you, Oscar, the entire postseason, we've had really good officiating crews.
Yeah, that's just a tough break for Meachie. Meachie made a nice break on the ball. The defender turned, turned his hip. And
another steal by Juan Thornhill. Look out. We have liftoff. Thornhill with another right-handed slam. Juan's getting the steals at midcourt, and there's nobody between him and the bucket. Middlesex couldn't get back in time. It's an 11-point Colonel lead. We're not even halfway through the first. 3 ball up from the right wing. Too strong for Marquez Holmes. Thornhill, long pass into the front court to Montague. Now Demetrius Johnson driving, middle of the paint. Soft touch with the right hand falls. 18-5, and Middlesex needs another timeout. Juan Thornhill shouting to the fans, get on your feet. He's using the arms to get them pumped up. It's working. Timeout here with the Colonels on top. 18-5. 4:16 left to play in the first on 105.5 KD Country.
Does it seem that most stores don't care about good service these days? Well, at English's Building Supply, good service is still the king. They greet me with a smile, help me select the highest quality Glidden paint, provide expert color matching, and even carry my paint to the car. They help me get the job done right and make it last. At English's Building Supply, the customer is still king. English's Hardware and Building Supply, North Main Street, Altavista.
Here's more award-winning high school sports with Kyle and Oscar on 105.5 KD Country.
Colonels up big, and we're not even halfway through the Select Air first quarter. 4:09 left to play in the first. 18-5 advantage. Middlesex basketball after the timeout. On another 5-second call, almost coming there, but they get it off to Marshall. Back to Sean Johnson. Marshall, overhead pass to the left wing to Marquez Holmes. Holmes back to Johnson. Johnson pull-up jumper from 16 feet too strong. Ball out of bounds. It'll stay with Middlesex. Oscar, we've seen the Colonels have some really good spurts and bursts to start games. This one about as good as we've seen, certainly in a long time.
18 points in 4 minutes. You do the math. That's 36 points a quarter.
I'm not good at math.
I don't think they're going to hang 144 on Middlesex tonight, because that's the rate they're headed at. But
yeah, I tell you, that 89-point mark from Cumberland may not stand as the high mark of the year. Inbound play. Middlesex took a long time, and it's stolen away by Darius Johnson. Johnson to the right side of the dish, had it swiped out of his hands, but that's a foul. And Darius Johnson will head back to the free throw line. 3:49 left to play in the Select Air first. 18-5 Colonels on top. First foul on number 23, Andre Campbell, who checked into the game. Josh McClure has entered the ball game as a substitute for the Colonels. First one they've used so far. Darius cans the first one. A 70% free throw shooter coming in.
Perfect from the line tonight, 3 for 3.
Colonels were 14 of 25 as a team last night from the charity stripe. Again, another one of those numbers you'd probably like to see go up, but I think maybe content with it. Darius has knocked down both.
14 for 25?
That's right, yeah. 20-5 is the score right now. Colonels on top of Essex by 15. Darius out for a breather. Malbeck returns to the ball game. He joins Demetrius Johnson, Juan Thornhill, Donovan Montague, and Josh McClure. Middlesex driving. That was Marquez Holmes. He had it swatted away. Foul is the call, though. Marquez Holmes is going to shoot some free throws.
Call that on Josh McClure. And Middlesex has got to be wondering what's hit him.
Yeah, this can't feel real good to Middlesex right now. I know they had a good game plan coming in. The Chargers actually scored first in this one. If you joined us late, scored right off the opening tip-off. And they really had Altavista in trouble in some backcourt, full court pressure type of situations.
They didn't hold the lead for long because when Colonels went down and on a Juan Thornhill three-pointer, took the lead 3-2, and they haven't looked back since.
That's exactly right. Nelson Dews checking in the basketball game. Second free throw converted by Holmes. So it's a 20-6, 14-point Colonel lead. Full court pressure again. Altavista breaks it this time with relative ease. Demetrius Johnson, pull-up, jump shot, 16-footer from the left wing. Book it. Demetrius with the mid-range. That's impossible to stop.
That's not an easy shot either. You're going in pretty much full speed, and then you go in full speed and pull up and hit that little mid-range jumper. That's a tough shot.
Yep. I don't think it hit much of the rim either. It might have just barely nicked the back of it. Sean Johnson in trouble.
Defense
Steals.
just stifling.
Defense is swarming on him. It was batted away first by Demetrius, then Nelson Dews grabbed it. Malbeck, three-pointer up, too short, but Demetrius is there on the rebound. Now McClure on another rebound. He's got a second chance, up and in. Blue-collar McClure with the hustle play there to get a couple extra chances. Colonels, 24-6 are on top right now. Three-pointer up from Holmes. That's too short, McClure there to rebound that one underneath the dish. Foul. I think they're going to get Josh McClure with the offensive foul. Use the elbow. He can't believe it.
Yeah, nobody can.
You can probably hear the crowd voicing their displeasure. And it is a full gymnasium here tonight at Altavista. Inbound play coming up for the Colonels. Self-hands it in to Sean Johnson. Jump shot from the baseline, too strong. Offensive foul there as I believe it was Andre Campbell over the back of Juan Thornhill. Excuse me, it was on Marquez Holmes. No, it was on Campbell. Should have went with the first instinct. Bob Alvis's rule. Colonels send it up near sideline. Now middle of the court. It's McClure in the front court. Nelson Dews will try for three. That's off the back iron, too strong. Thornhill with a rebound at the top of the key. McClure will look at a free ball. Yes, sir. Josh McClure sinks it from deep. The Altavista Colonels firing on every single cylinder. They have found another gear tonight, Oscar. They lead 26-6.
We talked about the game last night. Essex 29-29 at the half, and the Colonels looked like they came out a little bit flat against a very athletic Essex team. Not flat tonight. I think that was a wake-up call. They are dominating. They are in their face. This is going to be a 10-second backcourt call.
Yep,
and there it is.
10 seconds. Middlesex threw it into the front court, but the official blew the whistle just a tad late. And Coach John Hatch for the Middlesex Chargers really has no answers right now. Altavista will inbound right in front of the scorer's table at midcourt.
And he's imploring the official to call something, but I don't think a three official can help right now.
Nelson Dews looks at a three, checks the defense. Now over to Thornhill, left wing. Back to Michi Malbeck. Michi for three. Bingo! Michi Malbeck, another one from long distance. The Colonels dialing up the long ball tonight. Will you accept the charges? 30-6. There's a shot clock, and they're going to call Demetrius Johnson for the goaltend. That might have been.
And Coach Cartolaro is trying to say he had no chance of going in. He's absolutely right. It'll be interesting to see if the officials get together. Nope.
They're not going to get together and talk about it. Demetrius Johnson threw the shot out of the air. It was about halfway between the shooter's hand and the rim. Montague, full speed in transition. Layup won't fall, but he is fouled. Good hard move to the basket. Full speed look there by Donovan Montague. 30-8, the Altavista Colonels lead. We have 1:42 left to play in the first quarter. The Colonels have put up 30, and Montague can add more from the free throw stripe. Donovan, deep knee bend, puts up the right-handed shot attempt, and it goes in. 31-8, Colonels on top.
Well, he joins the party along with Michi, Juan, Demetrius, Darius, and Josh McClure.
Don't turn away, because you don't know what kind of exciting stuff the Colonels have in store for the rest of the ball game. Trust me on that one, folks. 32-8.
Colonels perfect from the line tonight.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. Ball back, working after a steal, digging deep in the trenches, and now it will be a steal as it was last touch off of the Middlesex Chargers. Holmes barely got a finger on it. And Johnny on the spot.
And Michi may be able to go into the salesman's business, because I believe he sold that one.
Thornhill's going to walk it in the front court. Gets his man off of him. Now goes right wing to Maulback. Maulback, pass fake. Now does get it down low to Darius Johnson. Johnson with the power move to the right side of the hoop. Off the window and in. 34-8, Colonels on top. NBA scoring pace right here, Mr. Briggs.
That's Darius' first bucket of the night.
Incredible. Middlesex has lost the basketball again. Nelson Deuce comes away with the steal. Little help from some teammates. Thornhill finds Darius Johnson all alone underneath the hoop. Another one. They just continue to score at will, 36-8.
And if you're here scouting tonight, which you got to believe that somebody is,
good luck. Close the notebook. Campbell took too many steps in the middle of the lane. Another turnover. The Colonels' defense is doing it as much as their offense is. That's another Middlesex turnover. Andre Campbell just slid the foot in the middle of the lane. It was a rare time that Middlesex had a little bit of breathing room, and maybe he was shocked to find himself so open.
Mateo Maulback into the ballgame now, giving his brother Michi a spell.
Colonels have 45 seconds left in the half. In the old days, they might hold for the last shot. I don't know. They might just try and keep scoring. They might try and get 40 points in the first. They throw it down low. Left-hand post. Darius Johnson shot up and good. What a feed from Donovan Montague from the top of the key. 38-8. The Colonels up by 30, and we've only played one quarter. Offensive foul on Middlesex. Moving the screen on Marquez Holmes.
And that's a pure frustration foul.
Yep. He just bowled right through. I believe it was Thornhill.
It was Thornhill. That's just, that's just pure frustration.
Colonels can get the 40-point mark now. 25 seconds left in the Select Air first quarter. 38-8. Thornhill, shake and bake move with the left-hand dribble. Now they'll back it out more towards midcourt. 1 foot inside the timeline. Now he's driving to his right. Thornhill, with the right-hand lay-in. He soared from beyond the paint. Thought about the dunk. Had to settle for the lay-in, but it was effective. 40-8. Colonels on top. Middlesex has 3 seconds left. This is Campbell. Campbell took too many steps. Goodness. Oh, my. Altavista's going to get a chance to score again. 1.6 seconds left in the first. Going to have to come from full court. Thornhill, I believe, is going to throw the baseball, football-style pass to either midcourt or beyond. They're giving the signal. Got a play designed for this situation. 3 guys set up at half court. He does. Finds Darius Johnson. Right wing. Fadeaway. Jumper is good. Oh, my goodness. The fans are spilling out onto the court. The Colonels have scored 42 points in the first quarter, featuring everything, including a buzzer beater from Darius Johnson from about 17 feet. Time out here, Altavista. They lead by a bunch, 42-8 after 1 quarter on 105.5 KD Country.
This is 100% convenient mobile banking with local First National Bank.
With our FirstNet mobile app, you can securely check balances, make deposits, pay bills, transfer money, and much more.
It's easy to use, and we even have a video demo on our website at firstnetbk.com.
And it's free, so search FirstNet mobile app and download it for free today.
Remember, banking from anywhere, anytime will help you bring home more bacon.
First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
More live high school sports action on 105.5 KD Country.
You heard the score right, folks. 42-8. 42 points for the Altavista Colonels in 1 quarter of play. It was the first quarter in this game. I said NBA scoring pace. There's a lot of NBA teams that would love to be able to put up 42 points in a quarter, Mr. Briggs. The Colonels found another gear. Then they found another one after that. Then they found another one after that. Incredible stuff. Altavista could do no wrong in the first.
That's a perfect quarter, Kyle. I mean, I don't think they nailed it from 3. Michi.
NBA range 3, no good. But Darius Johnson is there with the putback and stick in. 44-8 now. Colonels on top. Colonels lead by 36 points. 7:40 left to play in the second. Drive there from the freshman Raekwon Marshall, will go down. Gives Middlesex a much-needed shot on the scoreboard. Donovan Montague wants to try a three. Too strong. Guess who's there? Darius Johnson. First shot blocked. Second shot blocked, but on the second one he was fouled. From the right side of the hoop, Darius going to go back to the free throw line, a place where he is perfect so far on the night. And as you said, Colonels as a team didn't miss any from the charity stripe.
No, and Donovan probably took that shot a little bit quick.
Well, in Donovan's defense, it's contagious when guys start hitting shots, and they probably feel like they're walking on air right now, and they can do no wrong. And let's face it, Colonels really didn't do anything wrong in the first at all. So free throw trend continues. Darius Johnson knocks down both, 46-10. Colonels on top. 7:20 left to play in the Select Air second quarter. This is Marshall, the freshman guard, throws it left wing to Holmes. Holmes shot up. Too strong. Thornhill with the rebound in the middle of the lane. Up ahead to Malbeck. Lob play for Thornhill. It hit the rim. Montague there for the follow. Donovan Montague trailing on the play. Again, when the Colonels do something wrong, there's somebody there to clean up the mess. Incredible stuff.
And last night when the Colonels tried that, Coach Cartolaro called a timeout. But when you're up by 38.
Three ball up from Middlesex. High rebound controlled by Thornhill. Boy, Juan Thornhill is grabbing a bunch of rebounds. Up ahead quickly to Demetrius Johnson. Demetrius tried to grab it with the right hand, but walked in the process. Get back to that lob play, what you were saying, Oscar. Coach Cartolaro didn't exactly like the way it played out a few times last night. But I'm with you. Right now, why not try it?
And it can be a huge momentum changer. And that was a tight ball game last night.
Yeah.
It could have made a difference.
Middlesex basketball in the front court. They haven't had it there much. This is Sean Johnson. Hands off to Marshall. Marshall, left-hand dribble, trying to get by the D. Shovels it off instead to Marquez Holmes. Holmes will walk it out to his right on the right wing. Now it's down low, right baseline to Sean Johnson. Left-hand jumper won't go. Tip back won't go. Rebound is still loose. McClure working for it. Finds the hands of Jacob Shelf. And that one is sent away. No good. Rejected by
Mr. Juan Thornhill.
And Juan will just calmly walk it up. Still in the backcourt. Now does cross the timeline. 6:04 left to play in the Select Air second quarter.
And they're in that 1-3-1, and it's extended.
It is an extended 1-3-1. And I'll tell you, Oscar, I don't know a whole lot else Middlesex could have done from a defensive perspective to try and stem that tide that the Colonels had going. Malbeck fakes the three. Instead, they send it along the right baseline to Demetrius Johnson. Thornhill, head fake, dribble drive. Now he'll kick it out. Finds McClure at the left elbow. That jump shot too strong, but Donovan Montague there, left side of the hoop, with the catch and shoot on the rebound, 50-10. The Colonels have cracked the 50-point mark. We have 5:20 left to play in the second quarter. Wow, Middlesex basketball. High arcing three is good from Sean Johnson. Got the net tangled up. It was nothing but net. Sean Johnson, good catch and shoot three there. Makes it 50-13 Altavista.
Nice looking little left-handed stroke from him. And he's just a junior.
Let's put this in perspective, Oscar. The Colonels have 50 points right now. They have won an entire game this year over Rustburg with less than 50 points. Steal at midcourt there. Middlesex going the other way. Holmes got in the passing lane and drops the left-hand lay-in. Good job by Marquez Holmes. Maybe the Colonels starting to feel it a little bit in the legs and the wind, that kind of thing. They did use up a lot of energy there in the first quarter. I don't know if they punched themselves out, but
no, they certainly didn't punch themselves out. But I think they've gotten a little bit careless.
And maybe careless there. Malbeck had to track it down in the backcourt there. Almost another steal.
I think you see another turnover, another sloppy offensive possession, and you may see a Mike Cartolaro timeout just to give them a little bit of rest and refocus them.
Demetrius Johnson, overhead pass to the left wing to Michi Malbeck. Malbeck's going to send it right back down in the left-hand corner to Demetrius. Demetrius, one dribble, one step. Hoop in the arm off the window and good. Demetrius Johnson with a nice move there to get by the defense, made himself skinny, slid between two defenders, and one of the guys whacked him on the elbow as he went up for the shot.
Colonel's 10 for 10 from the line tonight.
Wow. 52-15. Colonel's on top.
What did you say?
52-15. Altavista leading.
4:18 remaining here in the second quarter.
Wow. Yeah. Colonels, just to put it all into perspective again, have scored under 50 4 times this year, and I take that back. They've won 2 games by scoring less than 50. Beat Gretna and Rustburg while scoring 45 points. Lost to Dan River both times in low-scoring affairs.
Well, Middlesex's offensive strategy was to push, and people have wondered, can the Colonels run? They got their answer tonight.
Well, absolutely. This is Andre Campbell. Spin move, lost the ball, recovered it off the ground. Now over to number 12, that's Sean Johnson. Left-hand floater won't fall in, but he's fouled. He's going to toe the free throw line with 4:01 left to play in the half. Yeah, it's interesting, Oscar. I think the old knock on Altavista and Coach Cartolaro was, they play that slow-down stuff. They spread the court. They use the 4 corners. Need a shot clock, and that would blah, blah, blah. This is not the old days. This is a team of thoroughbreds that loves to get out and run as much as possible. Not even thoroughbreds. They're like sports cars out there, Oscar. Everybody else is driving around in a Chevy. The Colonels have the Ferrari. First free throw was converted by Sean Johnson, 53-16. Second one no good. Has to track it down right in front of us. Does save it in. Nice athletic play, but then the rest of the Chargers lost it. Michi Malback trying to bounce it up ahead on the angle to brother Mateo, but Mateo lost it out of bounds. It's Middlesex basketball with 3:52 remaining in the Select Air second quarter. 53-16, the Colonel advantage. On the court right now for the home team, Altavista, in white. Nelson Dews, Michi Malback, Mateo Malback, Juan Thornhill, and Darius Johnson. Relatively small lineup out there right now, Oscar. And certainly one that can get out and run just like everybody else for Altavista.
Been able to shuffle Demetrius, Darius, and Donovan in and out.
Yep, Chargers in the front court. This is Marshall. Marshall had the shot deflected in the middle of the lane, recovered by Nelson Dews. Dews looking for a teammate, does bounce it backwards to Thornhill, and Juan will bring it into the front court. Cross-court left point to Mateo Malback. Now it's Michi in the left corner. Nice one-handed bounce pass to Darius Johnson. Shot won't fall. Darius sticks up the second shot attempt, and he is fouled. Chargers just draped all over his arm was number 10, Raekwon Marshall.
Well,
That's his second foul.
We talked before the game that there was a decent size advantage with Donovan at 6'5", the Johnsons at 6'4", 6'3", and their tallest player at 6'2", 6'3", Sean Johnson actually 6'2", and Colonels have been able to exploit that. They've dominated the boards. They've outrun a very fast Middlesex team. Colonel's still perfect from the line tonight.
No kidding. Darius knocks down another 2. 55-16. It's almost getting to the point where maybe we should stop talking about it. The no-hitter's already into the 4th or 5th inning. Middlesex basketball in the front court. That's Johnson with the pull-up 17-footer. Won't fall. Rebound by Holmes. Stick back is good from 5 feet left side of the paint. Good job by Marquez Holmes. Active on the glass. Found a little open space there in one of those rare times that the Colonels did allow an offensive rebound for the Chargers. Looks like Middlesex has changed the zone up. Looks more like a 2-3 zone now.
That's exactly.
The Colonels have noticed and adjusted, Oscar.
Yep, that's what they've gone to. And a little bit different openings against this 2-3 than what you see against the 1-3-1. But the Colonels very patient, quickly recognize the change.
Yep.
Don't know where to attack.
And it looks like Thornhill, where he was set up earlier, is almost running the number 4 spot, the traditional power forward spot, because you have 3 guards already out there in Nelson Dews, Mateo Malback, and Michi Malback. It's kind of roving now, I think. Darius set up there on that baseline. It's Nelson Dews with the basketball, now between the circles to Malback. Thornhill, catch and shoot 3 off the back iron, no good. Nelson Dews on the rebound, shovels it back out to Malback.
Pass.
Malback with the bullet 2-handed pass to the baseline to find Darius Johnson. That was a full 40-foot pass, and Michi threw a stripe right down there to Darius Johnson, who put it up and in for 2 more.
Just great vision. Oh, what great
by
vision.
Thornhill. Juan, right side of the paint, leaves it off for Mateo Malback. Unselfish play leads to 2 more points. Mateo Malback with the deuce. 59-18, Colonels lead. 59 points. We still got 1:45 left to play in the half. Middlesex into the front court. Going to have to work hard to get any points, and they can't get it there. Mateo Malback with a steal. Left-hand lay-in goes down. Mateo Malback back-to-back points. This one off a steal of his own. 61-18, Colonels on top.
No answer for Middlesex. None.
This is over what the Colonels average for a game. Colonels coming into the game averaging 59.2 points a game as a team. 61-18, they are on top, and you're right, Oscar. I don't know what to say. It's kind of tough on us because we want to give Middlesex credit. We want to say, the right things, and they are playing hard, but
And they're
There's
young.
nothing they can do.
And they're young.
young.
They hadn't had this kind of experience certainly against this kind of team. And a very focused Altavista squad after a little bit of a scare last night in the first half. They're making a statement here today.
Yep, Holmes shot a left wing three that didn't draw any iron and went out of bounds. Last touch off of Middlesex. 1:14 left to play in the Select Air second quarter. This is a statement. You are absolutely right. The other teams, there's going to be 4 teams left in 1A basketball after tonight. 2 from the East Region, 2 from the West Region. And you can bet that those other 3 teams, Oscar, are going to see this score and go, wow.
And this is the last home game. The higher seed of this, they will play at a higher seed kind of neutral location right now. It's William Campbell. That game is scheduled for Friday night right now.
Yep, that game has been moved. It's not tomorrow, it's Friday. Colonel's just circling around. Lob play. Thornhill with the two-handed jam. It was Michi Malback again, throwing it from midway between the half-court circle and the top of the key circle, right on target, and Juan threw it down with another dunk. Another one. The Colonels have got everything in the kitchen sink tonight. Middlesex inside. Nice one-hander put up by Andre Campbell. Will go down from the left side of the paint. 63-20.
That was that same one that there's no way he's going to be able to come down with that ball. That one will be on SET tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow. Ball back. NBA range 3. Back of the iron. No good. Rebound by Nelson Dews and stuck back and in. Nelson Dews from the right block. Time expires in the first half. A first half that saw everything, everybody on their feet cheering, including these 2 broadcasters. 65-20. Subway halftime show on the way when you come back to 105.5 KD Country.
A short drive will save you money.
In the market for a new Chevrolet? Fellers Chevrolet.
FellersDirect.com.
For a huge selection of new Chevrolets and pre-owned vehicles, it's Fellers Chevrolet.
FellersDirect.com.
FellersDirect.com. Selection. Convenience. Fellers Chevrolet.
Fellers Chevrolet.
Always open and only a click away.
FellersDirect.com.
A short drive will save you money. Fellers Chevrolet in Altavista.
Hello, this is Mitch Haley with Altavista Appliance, Home and Lawn Center. I would like to take this time to thank KD Country for the advertising opportunities they have provided me this past year. I would also like to thank our customers for making 2014 such a great year. It is because of your continuous support that we are able to expand our business and offer you more than we ever had in 2015. Come see us today at Altavista Appliance, Home and Lawn Center, where you can shop small and save big.
Visit their newly remodeled showroom on 7th Street.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving family since 1905. Personal, memorable memorial moments, celebrating life and more. Pre-arrangements with confidence, trust and care from our family to yours. Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving family since 1905.
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Wow. My, oh my, what a first half. 65-20. The Altavista Colonels lead by 45 points at halftime over the Middlesex Chargers. It is a 45-point lead. I'm Kyle Haney. He's Oscar Briggs. It's the Subway halftime show. Oscar, we need a chance to catch our breath just like the players.
I haven't seen all the games this year. I've seen probably 12. Boy, that's certainly the best half of basketball I've seen out of them. And it couldn't have come at a better time.
I was just going to say the same thing, Briggs. I was going to say finest half of basketball that I have seen ever in my life. And let's face it, that second half that the Colonels turned in yesterday was pretty doggone good. This was even better than that. 65-20. It was 40-8 at the end of the first quarter. I said NBA scoring pace. Yeah, you bet. 65 points for the Altavista Colonels. It was everybody, too. It was a lot of Juan Thornhill for sure, but it was everybody. Colonels didn't miss from the free throw line either.
No, perfect from the free throw line. Darius Johnson poured in a mere 20. Again, you talk about superlatives. Very rarely am I at a loss for words. I certainly am almost at a loss for words after watching that half of basketball. It was almost a perfect half of basketball.
Yeah, we were left speechless a few times during football season and a few times during basketball season, maybe on a particular play here or there. But this half is leaving us speechless right now. Again, let's put it in perspective. The Colonels come into the ball game averaging 59.2 points a game. 59 points per game the Colonels average. They have 65 points right now, 65-20. Quick timeout here on the Subway halftime show. We're going to bring it back and try and describe how it all happened, although it's going to be impossible to recap all 65 points. But there were some good ones that we'll hit on for sure. Subway halftime show returns when you return. Colonels up big by 45 on 105.5 KD Country.
Unfortunately, I have some bad news.
How bad is it, Doctor?
We've done all we can. Your heat pump's not gonna make it.
Oh, no.
Honey, it's going to be okay. We'll call Select Air Mechanical and Electrical, 332-2600. With over 60 years experience, they'll have us comfortable again in no time.
I recommend Select Air to all my patients. Call 332-2600 or visit selectairmechanical.com. They can handle all your home comfort needs, and they're an authorized trained dealer. It's hard to stop a train.
English Construction Company has been in the building business since 1909, so it's only natural that they appreciate the building process. They recognize the fact that organized sports programs build character as well as bodies and minds. They know that high school sports build our youth into more well-rounded and more productive adults. English Construction Company is proud to be a sponsor of high school sports and salute all athletes, coaches, and teachers. A word of praise and encouragement from English Construction Company with offices in Lynchburg. Good food, low prices, and great service keep customers coming back for more day after day at El Cazador Mexican Restaurant in Altavista. El Cazador is now open all afternoon, so you can buy anytime, any day, 11 a.m. until 10 p.m. El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, a great place to unwind and relax with friends. Open 7 days a week, Main Street, Altavista. El Cazador thanks you for your business and making them the #1 Mexican restaurant in town.
Your high school sports station with award-winning coverage on 105.5 KD Country.
Subway halftime show returns here from Altavista High School. Some scoring numbers coming up in just a second, Oscar. But, boy, hometown crowd getting treated to some seriously good basketball. And I hope all those people listen to us. If they're just a basketball fan around Central Virginia, I hope they made it down to see this. $7 gets you the whole seat, but you only need standing room tonight. It's always free on the radio, thanks to our sponsors.
And it is a last home game, but hey, William Campbell's not that far, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right.
And Colonels will need your support there as well. Assuming that this 65-20 score holds up.
I just got a score courtesy of a couple people. Our good friend Bob Alvis and also our dear buddy Greg Doss. Dan River is up 47-23 at half over Grundy. And then in another score, Galax is up 39-32 over Radford. Again, that is a game that only one of those teams will get in the state tournament. On the other side of this East Region bracket, Oscar, it's Surrey and Lancaster playing tonight. Winner of this one will get the winner of that one. And then, like you said, I don't see how the Colonels couldn't hold on to a 45-point lead. Guess you never know, but still got to play the second half.
Yeah, and let me give you some scoring and rundown first for the Colonels. Michi Malbeck with 6, Juan Thornhill with 13, Donovan Montague with 6, Mateo Malbeck with 4, Demetrius Johnson with 9, Darius Johnson 40 and 20, Nelson Dews with 2, Josh McClure with 5. 65 points for the Altavista Colonels. For Middlesex Chargers, Draquan Marshall with 3, Sean Johnson with 6, Andre Campbell with 2, Marquez Holmes with 7, and Drake Key with 2. Boy, what a performance by the Colonels.
No kidding. It was something for the history books for sure. The Colonels have a new warm-up shirt, Oscar, that says, "Let's make history." Well, regardless of what happens with the state tournament, in my eyes, they made history here tonight. This is one for the time capsule. This is one that we're going to remember for a long time, that first half, and who knows, second half could be the same way. Let me put it into perspective again. Colonels have 65 points right now. They've only scored more than 65 points this year 5 times. So that's in 4 quarters. They've only been over 65 points 5 times this season. That's impressive. Of course, 89 points against Cumberland, 79 against Lunenburg, 76 the first time against William Campbell, 71 against Heritage. It's been some high-scoring games, but nothing like this.
And certainly some high-scoring games, and certainly some very, 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 very good halves of basketball, but nothing like we've seen tonight.
Let's throw it out there again, and I know you said it when you were doing the stats, but I'll say it again. Colonel's perfect from the free throw line. They have not missed. And that was one of those things that all year we were saying, boy, think about if they'd have shot 75 or 80%. Think about how many points they would have scored. Think about what the numbers would be. Well, they did better than that. They shot 100% in that half.
13 of 13, and with 1:12 here remaining in the half, getting ready to go into the second half. We were talking during one of the breaks is how long do you put your starters in?
Yeah.
How long do you leave them in? Because certainly the game Friday night, you want them fresh. And then they will play Monday.
Yeah, they win this one. Again, let's assume they hold on and win this one. They're up 45. You're right. They'll play Friday, then Monday. If you win that, you play Wednesday.
And if you lose Friday, you play Monday morning at 10 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a different ball game, different dynamics, different just a total different feel to it than what you ordinarily have. A weekday game that early in the morning. You don't know exactly how a team will react to that.
Yeah, you're exactly right. The region final is set for Friday night. William Campbell High School will be the site, 6:30 tip-off. That means our pregame show will be on around 6:10 or so. And then the state semifinals are Monday. If the Colonels lose the region championship game, they will play at 10 a.m. like Oscar said. If they win, they'll play at 1:30. And then the 1A state championship game is Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. Odd start time for a basketball game, but you got to do what you got to do. And, of course, the state tournament at the Siegel Center on the campus of VCU in Richmond, Virginia. Subway halftime show is done. Third quarter about to get underway here from Altavista High School, and it is the starters out there on the court for the Colonels. Donovan Montague, Demetrius Johnson, Michi Malback, Darius Johnson, Juan Thornhill. Malback playing tough pressure man-to-man defense on Marshall in the backcourt, and you got a steal in the front. Up ahead to Thornhill. Thornhill tried to track it down and save it. He had to pull up on the brakes early because he saw an unsuspecting fan walking along the baseline. And, again, that's Juan Thornhill. Not only, Oscar, does he know where all the players are, he knows where the fans are, too.
That was a fan with a camera, too. So
yeah, out of bounds off of the Colonels as Juan couldn't track it down. I don't know if there were no fans there if Juan would have got to it anyway, but it was good hustle. Middlesex basketball in the front court. They nearly lost it again. Demetrius Johnson got a paw on it, but it's recovered by Marquez Holmes. Self, couple dribbles to his right, now back to his left. Down to the baseline. Right corner, it goes to Sean Johnson. Back to Self, that's stolen away. Donovan Montague doing the honors. Up ahead to Demetrius Johnson. Johnson, left hand, high off the window and good. Colonels start the third quarter scoring first, 67-20. They're on top over Middlesex.
And it's all off the defense, too,
Yep.
Kyle. They are really pressing hard.
Almost got another one. Tipped into the front row of the stands by Darius Johnson. Couldn't get the steal. Colonels just jumping into the passing lane. Active, energetic on the defensive side. Fans are a little late getting back from the concession stand, so obstructing our view. Middlesex going right to left from our perspective or south to north from where we're at courtside here at Altavista. Demetrius Johnson swats it away, tries to save it, ends up in the Middlesex bench. There was an open seat there next to the water cooler. But they say out of bounds. Demetrius had a toe on the line as he was doing that. Self will get it inbound. Right wing, it goes to Marshall. Marshall's three too strong. Reeled in by Demetrius Johnson. Tried to throw it long for Michi Malback, but it's intercepted. Ill-advised pass there. Pull-up jumper. Too strong from the left-handed shooting Marquez Holmes. Rebounded offensively by Middlesex. In the corner, Sean Johnson. His three is too short. Hit the front iron. Montague grabs the board. He'll run the fast break himself. 3-on-2 look. Finger roll finish. Won't go down, but Demetrius Johnson will tap it in on the follow. 69-20. Colonels extending the lead. 6.5 left to play in the third. Nearly another steal. Holmes puts it up, falling down. Helped up by Donovan Montague. Whistle blows. It's a foul. Shot won't fall, but Marquez Holmes, 5'8", junior guard, going to get 2 free throws for the Middlesex Chargers.
And they're going to call that on they're actually calling it on Demetrius.
First one on Demetrius. First 1.5 for the Colonels. Nobody in foul trouble for the Colonels this game. There was a little bit of that yesterday against Essex. First one won't fall for Marquez Holmes. Starters on the court again for the Altavista Colonels. They're in the home whites. They're working left to right, north to south from our perspective. Second one does go in, 69-21. Colonels still on top. Colonels did trail to start the game. Middlesex opened up a 2-0 lead. Then Thornhill jacked a 3, made it 3-2. Colonels never looked back. All Middlesex saw was a cloud of dust. They barely even saw the taillights after that. Demetrius Johnson, cross-court pass, throws it right to the midcourt stripe to Juan Thornhill. Thornhill fakes the lob. Thornhill's just going to hold it on his hip. No dribble yet. Middlesex does now finally come out and make him do something, starting the 5-second count. Free throw line jump shot. Too strong from Darius Johnson. Rebound cleared away by the Chargers.
And nobody hit the boards for the Colonels on that possession. Everybody retreated.
Well, let's hope with the big lead they're not getting too lackadaisical down there. Basketball out of bounds off Maulback. So the Chargers will inbound underneath their scoring bucket. Right side of the hoop. 5:42 left to play in the Select Air third quarter. 69-21. Colonels on top. Jacob Self having to work hard to get it inbounds for Middlesex. He just does. Stolen away by Michi Maulback. Thornhill going to go up. Oh, the pump jam. Juan Thornhill. My goodness. Rocking the cradle a bit. Thornhill, the one-man dunk contest. 71-21. Colonels up by 50.
It was a reverse, too, Kyle.
Yeah, it was. Juan Thornhill with the reverse pump, cradle, throw-down slam. How many does Juan have tonight? One with right hand, a couple two-handers. That one, the reverse jam. I'm telling you. We need to start breaking the cards like they do in the dunk contest.
I started to the other day.
Yeah.
I didn't want Coach C on me.
I don't know. I think in this special occasion with a player as special as Juan Thornhill with his dunking abilities, he might not mind. First free throw is good by Sean Johnson. He was half in the act of shooting. Second one on the way for the left-handed shooting Johnson. High arcing free throw will fall. 71-23. Thornhill gets it in bounds. Throws it overhead, and he lost it. Stolen away by Jacob Self. No, excuse me. That's Marquez Holmes. Pull up 3 for Sean Johnson. Won't go.
Wow.
Tip in will go. Rising up to the rim was number 32, Dre Key, for the right-handed putback. Another steal. Colonel's getting a little sloppy, and another foul. And Coach Cartolaro sees it, wants to take a timeout. Let's take it with them. Colonels lead 71-25. Timeout on the way here. 5:01 left to play in the third quarter on 105.5 KD Country.
Virginia's oldest and most experienced bus company, Sunny Merriman Incorporated, along with their employees and families, joined together to congratulate the Altavista High School athletic teams for their outstanding sports seasons. Sunny Merriman wishes you the best in the playoffs and in your quest to bring home more state championship trophies to our community. Go Colonels, make us proud.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
2 free throws coming up for the Middlesex Chargers. Altavista on top, 71-25. 5:01 left to play in the Select Air third quarter. Oscar, let's go back to Juan's most recent dunk. I know what it was now. It was the old Dominique Wilkins, right?
That's exactly what it was.
Dominique that did that in the dunk contest?
Yes, it was.
Turned his back to the hoop, took the ball up, then pumped it down waist high and threw it in with the reverse jam.
That's the exact dunk. That's a great recall, Kyle.
I think of all the nicknames we've given Thornhill, I think we did call him the human highlight reel at one point, a la Dominique Wilkins. Both free throws cashed in for Middlesex, so that makes our deficit a little bit smaller. It's a 71-27 Altavista Colonel lead. Darius Johnson gets it on the inbound. Full court pressure from the Chargers. Thornhill gets it back from the return pass, and now he'll just stop it as he breaks the timeline.
And if there's, and if you can find fault in the game for the Colonels tonight, it's been that they've had a little bit of trouble with this press. It hadn't always been clean.
And I think that could be one of the reasons Coach C is leaving the starters in. He wants them to work against a good full-court press. And make no mistake about it, Middlesex has made it difficult. It's just a lot of times the Colonels have beaten the press before they could get it set up.
And I think he wants them to, you want them to finish on a strong run with clean basketball, not turning the ball over, hitting the boards hard. I think if they can get a 2 or 3 minute spurt like that, I think you'll see them starting to pull them. They're leading 71-27 with 4.5 minutes left here in the third quarter.
You're right, though. I agree with everything you said. I think Coach C is looking for one more strong run, and then you'll start to see the starters come out. Maybe not all at once. Sometimes Coach C will mix and match with the combos, but definitely agree with you wholeheartedly. Ball back will just one-hand it softly over to Juan Thornhill. Juan's just going to hold it on his hip again. Now he holds it between his legs. No dribble yet. Does use the right hand just to get some kind of activity. Set play for Michi Malback on the three. Hit the side of the iron. No good. Tip in won't fall. Demetrius Johnson's got the rebound after that. Stick back is good. 73-27. Colonels extending the lead again now. 3:50 left to play in the Select Air third quarter.
Boy, and that was almost another highlight reel because Thornhill went up and got his hand on it and just couldn't quite control the ball.
Marshall slashing to the dish. Won't go. Rebounded by Thornhill. Here comes Juan. No numbers. He'll slow it down, back it out, applies the brakes. Crossover dribble. Chest pass cross court to the right point to Malback. Now in the right corner. He sends it to Demetrius Johnson. Johnson fakes the pass, going to the dish, lost the ball, ends up in the hands of brother Darius, who sticks it in from point-blank range. 75-27. Again, another one of those breaks that the Colonels got, but they're making their own breaks too, Oscar.
Yeah, I mean, that was a hustle play. Give credit.
Steal by Thornhill, lost it momentarily, fell to the ground, poked it away while he did. Middlesex player is down and injured. Malback catches. 3 ball from the corner pocket right in front of us. Won't fall. Montague there on the offensive glass. He lost it. Darius found it, and then he found the bucket. 77-27. Colonel's lead is back up to 50. Just under 3 to play here in the third. Up and under lay-in falls for Dre Key. Back and forth basketball here as Middlesex got down, really beat the Altavista defense down, and that's a rare occasion when that happens. Darius going to chest pass it back out to midcourt to Thornhill. Colonel's going to take the air out of the ball and slow it down a bit.
Next dead ball possession, Mateo Malback, Nelson Dews, and McClure will come in along with Mormon, and looks like Lawrence Galliard.
Galliard. 3 ball no good, too strong for Montague. Here comes Middlesex into the front court. Bounce pass won't find the target. It hits off Monty's leg. And you're right, line change here, hockey style. 5 starters will be coming out. You should hear a pretty good ovation for them. Into the ball game. The men that Oscar mentioned. Now the crowd really coming to life. Some chanting going on for the Altavista Colonels fans. Great atmosphere for basketball tonight in Altavista. Final home game. On the court it is those guys Oscar mentioned. McClure, Galliard, Mateo Malback, Dews, and Chancellor Mormon. Dews, long pass up ahead to Mormon. Mormon lost it. Saved it. It's still loose. Mad dash for it. Goes out of bounds.
And it's a special night for these kids, this group of seniors that haven't played their last home game. And a little bit of something else special going on. We'll give you I don't know. We'll give them a hint later or not. But stay tuned with us. And a little special tribute here for one of the Colonels.
Yeah, there's reasons to stick around. Jump shot, soft touch is good by Raekwon Marshall from the baseline jumper, 18 feet. 77-31. Colonel still on top. I wonder if those starters will go back in maybe for one final roll call, one final ovation there in the fourth quarter, Oscar. We'll see. Some of it might depend on how these other guys play. I say other guys. All these guys have seen extended action so far this year. McClure's going to have to inbound. It got poked away. Altavista basketball. Left baseline. 77-31. 90 seconds left to play in the Select Air third quarter. Mateo Malback running the point. Sends it left wing to Josh McClure. Now they whip it around. Free throw line to Galliard. Galliard couple strides down the right side of the paint. He was fouled. He's going to go to the free throw line as the shot won't fall down for Lawrence Galliard. Number 32, just the freshman for the Altavista Colonels. He's a 6'2" forward. At the knee brace on the left knee tonight. Wrist tape on the left wrist. Galliard doesn't take a lot of time on the free throws. First one off the back iron, no good. 77-31. Final home game of the career for that senior class, especially the Big Four. They've done so much here at Altavista. Back-to-back state championships. And a whole lot else. A whole lot of excitement, too. Pull-up Jay's just a little bit too short from Sean Johnson. Rebound is loose. Scrum for it. Chancellor Mormon comes away with it for the Colonels. Nelson Dews, one-hand bounce pass looking for Galliard. Galliard can't control.
Boy, that pass was just too good. It hit Galliard in the hands. And it was about a 35-foot bounce pass.
60 seconds left to play now in the third. Lob pass down low for Jamel Reed, who has checked into the game. His first action for Middlesex. Kick out for Johnson. Three ball, too strong. Rebound on the left block by Josh McClure. Colonels with a cross-court pass. They'll bring it up left sideline. Nelson Dews has it. Turns away from the hoop momentarily. Now just a short chest pass to Mateo Malbeck. McClure's going to hand it right back to Mateo. Colonels may hold for one here. With 30 seconds left to play in the third. Nope, McClure's going to try a three.
Colonels have only scored 12 points in this quarter.
Normally that wouldn't be so bad, but when you think about the output that they had in the first half, it's a little bit of a change anyway. Shot was no good. Middlesex basketball in the front court. Self lost on the far sideline. Altavista's going to get it back with 16.8 seconds left in the third. Glad that you've joined us wherever you're at. Had a lot of people in the Carolinas listening yesterday. And I know we got folks all around the globe. Better weather in Orlando, although the 60-degree high was pretty nice today, Oscar. That'll change tomorrow. McClure with 4 seconds driving. Lost the handle, gets it back. Mormon gets it back. Fires up a buzzer beater, doesn't even draw iron. And that will bring a close to a slower third quarter, but still a good third quarter for the Colonels. They lead 77-31. Last frame on the way when you come back to 105.5 KD Country.
Life happens. Divorce, family problems, criminal charges, civil litigation, personal injury cases. Turn to David W. Shreve, an experienced attorney at law. David W. Shreve has been practicing law for 30-plus years. Free consultation for personal injury cases. Call today, 369-6621. 369-6621. David W. Shreve. Good luck to the Altavista basketball team in the playoffs. Go Colonels. David W. Shreve, located 7th Street, Altavista.
Your home for Colonel sports coverage. 105.5 KD Country.
I'm Kyle Haney. He's Oscar Briggs. Glad you've joined us on 105.5 KD Country. Honky Tonk Jukebox will follow us. The Sugar Daddy is going to visit Shelly West, Dottie West, Lefty Frizzell, David Frizzell. He'll make all the connections there. He's got a good show planned for you. I heard a sneak preview earlier. Mr. Briggs, the Colonels have a 46-point lead, 77-31. Coach Cartolaro has a lot of wins in his career here at Altavista. We'll tell you how many he's got in just a minute. How many of them you think he's had a 46-point lead going into the fourth quarter?
Not a bunch.
A handful, maybe. Maybe not even any. Maybe this is the first one. Guess what, too, folks? Starters back in the ball game for Altavista. I think Coach C wants to send them out in style. See how long they play. But these 5 seniors have done a whole lot in this ball game, done a whole lot in their careers, and I think Coach C wants to give them one last chance to make some memories in front of the home crowd. Montague catches 5 feet behind the right wing three-point line. Right-hand dribble, wants to pull up and shoot from 15 feet. Too strong. Darius Johnson there on the rebound. Power move back to the rim for 2. 79-31. Colonels open up the fourth in style.
And you may even see them pull them one at a time.
Sure. That's an excellent point.
That's a nice way to get individual recognition for each one of them.
Crowd has stuck around, and with good reason. Even though the Colonels have the big lead, 48 points now, they're hanging out to see all of this one. Basketball poked away. Good job by Darius Johnson fronting the post big man there for Middlesex, and it creates a steal. Thornhill, long chest pass to Montague. He finds Darius middle of the lane. Darius just leaves it off nonchalantly. No look to brother Demetrius, and that's good. Colonel lead back up to 50.
That was that pass we talked about, a 15-foot pass to a 10-foot pass to a 3-foot pass.
Another steal. Demetrius Johnson, left side of the hoop. Right-hand finish is good. Got a nice assist from Michi Malbeck, even though Demetrius caused the steal. 52-point lead for the Colonels. Another steal. This time is Thornhill. Juan to the dish. He's got Michi Malbeck. He bounced it between his legs to Michi Malbeck. Shot won't fall in. Coach Cartolaro shakes his head at that. Thornhill's got another steal. Up ahead to Demetrius Johnson. Now over to Michi Malbeck. Everybody kind of caught in between. Nobody wanting to shoot the basketball. At least
that's just how unselfish this team is.
Middlesex basketball. Holmes fires the left-hand jump shot. 15-footer won't fall. Thornhill on the rebound. Yeah, it is. It's unselfish. I think Coach Cartolaro is kind of saying, hey, somebody's got to eventually take the reins and score it. Right. Thornhill was just jogging into the front court. Now he's standing still with the dribble. Fakes a three. Left wing, it goes to Malbeck. Left corner now to Darius Johnson. Back up between the circles to Juan.
83-31, ladies and gentlemen. 83-31.
Three ball no good. Montague trying to fight and get it back. He does bounce it over to Darius Johnson. Johnson's shot won't go. Rebound loose again. Self-recovers underneath the backboard for Middlesex. Chargers going quickly. Left-hand lay-in good by Marquez Holmes. That'll draw a timeout from head coach John Hatch of the Middlesex Chargers. Let's take it with them. 83-33. Colonel's up 50, but I wouldn't go changing the dial. Still plenty of fireworks to come here with 5:37 left to play on 105.5 KD Country.
My friends call me the perfectionist, but English's Building Supply, my neighborhood Glidden paint dealer, they greet me by name. You see, I like to get things exactly right, especially when it comes to my painting projects. So I'm at English's Building Supply a lot, whether it's mixing the perfect Glidden paint for my project or offering great incentives. They do business just the way I like it, perfectly. English's on North Main Street, Altavista.
Your station for high school sports play-by-play is 105.5 KD Country.
83-33. Colonel's up 50, and we are getting word from reliable sources that the Radford Bobcats have lost in their region semifinal action to Galax. We'll try and confirm it from multiple sources. Told you might want to stick around, Oscar. Still plenty to go in this one. Radford.
I'm still waiting to find out how many wins Coach Cartolaro has here at Altavista.
Oh, I'm going to tell you in just a second. One-hand baseball pass into the front court to Demetrius Johnson. To brother Darius. Back to Demetrius. That's swatted away from behind. McClure in the ball game. He gets whacked on the head, and he'll go to the free throw line and shoot two. Demetrius wondering where was the foul when I shot mine.
Well, and at 83-33 with 5.5 minutes left, you're not going to get that call. You're
right.
Not going to get that call.
You're absolutely right. It looked like a foul, but you're right. It's got to be some definite contact there. I think the officials, again, have done a great job. Not an easy game to officiate, believe it or not, in a 50-point blowout. Again, let's say it again. Radford Bobcats, the team the Altavista Colonels beat in the state championship game last year. They were defending 2A champs when they did that. Seems to be out. We'll try and confirm it from some other sources. Somebody else that is out of the ball game, Michi Malbeck, getting a very big applause from the crowd as he comes out. Maybe his last action of the game, goes up and down the line there and high-fives all the teammates and coaches. Foul going to be whistled on Darius Johnson, trying to reach in and get the rebound on the missed free throw. Colonels have finally missed from the free throw line, Oscar.
Yeah, they have, and Michi Malbeck out of the game. We won't see him again tonight. And boy, what a career he's had here.
What a career. Made so many fantastic plays in this gym and other gyms as well, but I'm just thinking because it's the last home game.
And I keep thinking back to Michi at that Dan River game a couple years ago. I think it was his sophomore year, maybe even his junior year, where Coach Cartolaro pulled him and benched him. And, boy, that really turned the corner for him. And he's really matured, not only as a person, but as a basketball player.
He's made a great commitment to his game. He's a weight room warrior. He's really put on a lot of muscle in the off season and has gotten better and better every year. Thornhill thinking about a three. While we were talking about Michi Malbeck, two more seniors exited the game. It was the twins, the brothers Johnson, Darius, and Demetrius. Fantastic career for those guys. Thornhill spot up three, won't fall. Got his own rebound. Sent a floater back up to the dish. That won't go. Got his own rebound again. And talk about following your shot. Juan did it twice in the same play. And to take it to the front of the court, no-look dish, right wing to Nelson Dews. Nelly fires for three. No good. That rebound controlled by Middlesex. That is number 23, Andre Campbell. Campbell to the cup quickly. Can't get the shot to fall, and that's tracked down along the baseline by Chancellor Mormon. Here come the Colonels the other way. 4:20 left to play in the Select Air fourth quarter. Thornhill 5 feet in front of the near sideline, right sideline for us. Now he'll walk it to the middle of the court, Oscar.
Galliard over at the bench. You got to believe that the next dead ball that Juan's coming out.
Yep, Thornhill, the only senior still out there. McClure gets another offensive rebound. Stick back won't go. Ball is loose. Thornhill grabs it. Bet you Juan would like to end the career with a dunk. Razzle-dazzle pass to McClure will work, though, and Josh McClure deposits the 2. Juan sort of shoveled it with his right arm underneath his left, the no-look in the process. That's why I said razzle-dazzle, and it worked to perfection. 85-33, Nelson Dews has a steal. Throws it up ahead to Mateo Malback. Got it to McClure. McClure off the backboard. He was looking for the alley-oop play to Juan Thornhill. Probably the right idea to send Juan out in style, but they just couldn't execute it. Juan taps the chest to say, my bad. McClure does the same, and there it is. The final exit for Juan Thornhill. Crowd on its feet. I say final exit. We've got more basketball to play. Colonels have at least 2 more games, but final game in front of the home crowd. What a career here at home for Juan Thornhill. Boy, Oscar, if McClure could have timed up that alley-oop a little bit better. Off the window for a dunk, that would have been crazy. Nelson Dews, in the meantime, knocks down another tray. 3 ball from the left wing is good. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, the Colonels keep scoring with the guys they do have in the game.
And you know, there were several possessions here in the second half that the Colonels took 1, 2, 3 minutes off the clock. They could have easily hit 100 tonight.
Yeah, they could have hit 100. They're at 88 right now. Shot won't go in. Nelson Dews banged around getting the rebound. It's recovered by number 24. That's Carnell Bagby from Middlesex. Let's set the lineups for you because there is a lot of fresh faces. Bagby's going to go to the free throw line. On the court right now, joining him, number 12, Sean Johnson. Number 10, Raekwon Marshall. At the scorer's table is number 32, Dre Key. I'm missing 1 Middlesex player. Those numbers are kind of hard to see. I think it is number 23, Andre Campbell, in the far side of the paint over there, Oscar. We'll double check. On the court right now for the Colonels, Chancellor Mormon, Nelson Dews, Lawrence Galliard, Mateo Malback, and Josh McClure.
Bagby knocks down the second.
It's an interesting lineup, Oscar, for the Colonels because these are basically guys number 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 for the Colonels off the bench right now. Of course, McClure and Dews have started a bunch this year. Nelson Dews wants to try another 3 from the left wing. Same spot. This one won't fall, though. Campbell dribbles it in the front court quickly, lost the ball. Chancellor Mormon comes away with the steal. Left-hand finish won't go, but Mormon is smacked from behind, hits the deck hard, hops up very quickly, and he's going to go to the free throw line and shoot a pair. Yeah, as I was saying about the lineup, OB, and you can give your thoughts, McClure and Dews are pretty much like starters, and they've started a bunch this season. Mateo Malback has come off the bench very early a lot, and Chancellor Mormon's kind of that defensive specialist, defensive stopper kind of guy. Can score. He's a young guy, too, just a sophomore, but Coach C likes to use him. He'll slap him on a point guard, and Chancellor Mormon's a lockdown defender off the bench.
Not as good as his sister, but he's working on it.
I'd be even funnier if Addison was listening. I think she's up in the stands here tonight. Coach Cartolaro is going to send in another fresh 5 after this. Hockey-style line change again for the Colonels. Foul there by Mormon, about 35 feet away from the hoop on the left wing. And this group of 5 is going to get a nice round of applause here from the Altavista Colonel fans. That's the thing I've always said about the Colonel fans, Oscar. They get behind you, they root for you, and they know basketball, too. They know good basketball when they see it, and they let you know that they have seen it. On the court right now for the Colonels, number 40, Tristan Markins. Number 34, Traquan Farmer. Number 22, Jordan Witcher. Number 12, Devontae Mendez. And missing 1, it's number 15, Daquan Poindexter.
Daquan been up and down this year off the varsity and JV team.
Steal by Mendez. One head pass up head quickly to Farmer. Farmer can't get the soft touch to go from the left side of the hoop.
That's because it wasn't a soft touch.
Maybe it's more of a floater. Poindexter contesting the 3, but it goes in anyway. How about the long bomb there from Andre Campbell, right wing, NBA range. Mendez working hard to keep the basketball in the backcourt. He is bounced to the ground. Finally, the whistle comes out there.
That's only the third. That's only the third or fourth. I think it'll be the 4th team foul. With 2:03 remaining here in the fourth quarter, that's pretty phenomenal. Quite a difference in what we saw last night, where the Peas had to be replacing those whistles at the half.
89-37. Colonels have matched their season high. That was from 2 games ago against Cumberland. Let's see if they can break it. Mendez trying to direct traffic at the top of the key, telling some people where to go. Jordan Witcher wants to fire three. Side of the iron, no good. Bench from the Colonels got on their feet. They wanted to see that.
Yeah, they did. The bench really wanted that bucket to go. And they pull hard for these kids. These kids work hard in practice. And this is a team that is a true team. There are no egos on this team. They're just incredible how close they are.
Yep, and the Colonel pride is not just something they say to break the huddles. I mean, it's real, and they believe in it. Poindexter tried a three. Everybody got on their feet for that one. It wouldn't fall in. 1:20 left to play. Middlesex in a hurry the other way. Andre Campbell back out to Marshall. Marshall for three. That's good. Nothing but nylon there for Raekwon Marshall, 5'9" freshman guard. 1:14 left to play in the ball game. Colonel's up 89-40.
And the 89-40, no matter what the score is, it's not going to indicate how close this game was not.
Oh, man, you fooled me there. I thought you were going with the old closer than the scoreboard.
No, it was not even as close as this 89-40. It was much worse than that.
Yeah, Poindexter driving, cut off, and fouled. He's going to get to go to the free throw line and shoot a pair. All right, let's talk about some more history. Colonels have already made a lot of history in their career. The head man for the Altavista Colonels is going to make some history tonight, Oscar. He had 399 wins at Altavista coming into the game. That's Mike Cartolaro we're speaking about. This win is going to give him number 400. That is phenomenal at one school. He coached at a few other places before this. Coach C, one of the all-time greats, and they're going to honor him with something special after the ball game for his 400th win. And let's face it, at this point, with less than a minute to go, Colonel's up 49. Coach C's going to get his 400th win. Another free ball up too strong, rebounded by Daquan Poindexter in the backcourt. He's going to try and dribble out of trouble and lost the basketball. Almost saved in by a diving Charger player, but he can't. Well, and look at Coach C, still coaching over there on the bench.
He's still coaching, and let's recognize Middlesex here. They fought, they pushed, they've scratched, they've clawed. They just don't have enough resources to battle this a very determined, very talented Colonel team that is on a mission and made a statement after the close game last night with Essex.
Yeah, Colonels were, again, driving the Ferrari. Middlesex driving the Chevy. Middlesex did all they could tonight. They're going to get out and transition quickly here on a missed three. Oh, Mendez with a nice fake pass. Layup wouldn't fall. It was something that you'd see from Juan Thornhill. He extended the ball way out in his right arm, then went up with the layup.
And
couldn't get to go.
Promptly banged it off the backside of the backboard. Nice move, though.
It was. And he's just a freshman, and I have a feeling we're going to hear from him again. This is a young Middlesex team. Like I said about Essex the other day, could be somebody the Colonels have to face down the road in region play. Jordan Witcher for three, and it's good! Jordan Witcher! You wouldn't think that a late three would bring the crowd to its feet, but it definitely does. I'm sure you can hear him behind me. There's the final horn. Jordan Witcher is pumped. He jumps into the arms of Nelson Dews and Chancellor Mormon. Coach Cartolaro is pumped. The Colonels get to 92 points. They win the ball game, 92-40. Subway post-game show, Subway celebration show. Colonels are going back to the region championship game, and then at least the state semifinal after that. Join us for the Subway post-game show right after this timeout on 105.5 KD Country.
Businesses today are often focused on keeping their costs down, and we can help. I'm Daniel Wheeler with First National Bank, and we have a long history of offering cost-efficient business accounts. Today, we have a wide range of low-cost accounts for any size business. So just ask us about our business economy checking, small business interest checking, or other smart accounts. For progressive business banking, First National Bank will help you with an extraordinary customer experience. First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Brother needs a pickup, sister wants a ride. Uncle needs a sports car to keep him satisfied. Mama, she wants comfort, luxury and style. And Daddy, he just wants a deal that's gonna make him smile. Everybody's happy, you can hear them all say, we're glad we went to Fellas Chevrolet. Competition for all dealers in Central VA. A short drive will save you money. Fellas Chevrolet in Altavista.
Hello, this is Mitch Haley with Altavista Appliance, Home and Lawn Center. I would like to take this time to thank KD Country for the advertising opportunities they have provided me this past year. I would also like to thank our customers for making 2014 such a great year. It is because of your continuous support that we are able to expand our business and offer you more than we ever had in 2015. Come see us today at Altavista Appliance Home and Lawn Center, where you can shop small and save big.
Visit their newly remodeled showroom on 7th Street.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving family since 1905.
Life is full of opportunities to show someone we love them. One such opportunity is the funeral or memorial service. Finch and Finch helps you celebrate the relationships they shared and honors the memory of your loved one.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving family since 1905.
Here's more award-winning high school sports with Kyle and Oscar on 105.5 KD Country.
What a night from Altavista High School. What an atmosphere. Teams getting mobbed by fans and classmates, kids and children of all ages, from ages 5 to about ages 85, are coming up and shaking hands with the Altavista Colonels. They win 92-40 over the Middlesex Chargers. 92-40, a 52-point win here. You heard it all live on 105.5 KD Country. As if that wasn't history enough, it was Coach Cartolaro's 400th win here at Altavista High School. Number 400 had to be pretty sweet. Like I said, Oscar, how many times do you have a 46-point lead going into the fourth quarter?
Boy, you don't. And what a historic year. Not only, you had Johnson with 1,000, Juan with 1,000, Coach Cartolaro getting his 400th win here at Altavista. Huge year for the Colonels.
What a season.
Not to mention, now they advance to the state tournament. They will play Friday night for the regional finals, but they've locked their spot in the semifinals for Monday in Richmond. So,
yep, Altavista will advance at least into the state semifinals. That region championship game Friday at William Campbell. We said it was going to be at 6:30. Possibility it might be a doubleheader over there. They might have the girls' regional championship game before it. We're going to try and find out as best we can before this night ends. But, again, the Colonels will advance on the state semifinal play regardless, win or lose on Friday. You'd like to win because the way it works is the winner of the East region would meet the second-place runner-up team in the West region and vice versa. So, Oscar, I think at this point, all the teams are pretty good. Whatever 4 teams are left. And, again, we're hearing that Galax is one of the 4 teams left, which means Radford is not one of the 4 teams left. But regardless of that, whatever 4 teams are left, they're all pretty good. You've whittled it down to some very good competition at this point. And I think the Colonels have set the bar pretty high for the other 3 ball clubs that are left. Let's just put it that way.
Well, and again, we talked about it the last 3 or 4 games. With each round it goes, that target gets bigger and bigger. But the Colonels, this is a focused group.
Yeah.
Make no mistake about that. They are focused. They played a flawless first half and jumping out to that big 65-20 lead. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, at the half, 65-20.
Yeah. It was 40-8 at the end of the first quarter. I don't know, Oscar, what point in that first quarter did you think, we might be on to something? Was it when Thornhill hit that first 3 to give the Colonels the lead, or maybe it was the one that Malbach hit right after that? Then Thornhill had a jam to give them 8 points. I think we could tell from the energy in the gym and the energy that the guys had, at least at that point, we knew we were in for something special, huh?
Yeah, and let's face it, despite the fact that this team came in at 15-4, on paper it appeared to be a mismatch. It looked like that the Colonels had a big advantage inside, and despite their quickness, I think the Colonels had heard about their quickness and really showed some of the old Region A teams that they still got a little bit of speed themselves.
Oh, man, Colonels had plenty of gas in the tank. I said it before. They found gears that most basketball teams don't even know are possible. And then they found another gear on top of that. I mean, the 65-point output in the first half, just incredible stuff. A grand total of 92-40. And, that score probably could have been a little bit higher, but there was just no need. Colonels weren't trying to embarrass Middlesex in any way. They were just trying to play their best basketball, and I think we can say for certain that they did that. Let's take a timeout. collect our thoughts, get things together here on the Subway postgame show. Whole lot going on tonight, whole lot more to talk about. Honky Tonk Jukebox on after us. You may not be too delayed, country music fans. It's 7:55 right now. Might only be about 5 minutes late on that. The Sugar Daddy's got some good stuff for you tonight. We had some great stuff on the hardwood. Altavista, 92. Middlesex, 40. More Subway postgame show right around the corner on 105.5 KD Country.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes in Virginia are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
Brought to you by English Construction Company, with offices in Lynchburg.
Unfortunately, I have some bad news.
How bad is it, Doctor?
We've done all we can. Your heat pump's not gonna make it.
Oh, no.
Honey, it's going to be okay. We'll call Select Air Mechanical and Electrical, 332-2600. With over 60 years experience, they'll have us comfortable again in no time.
I recommend Select Air to all my patients. Call 332-2600 or visit selectairmechanical.com. They can handle all your home comfort needs, and they're an authorized trained dealer. It's hard to stop a train.
Some people have never tried food at a Mexican restaurant. So we asked Chad Shelton from Shelton's Plumbing and Heating about his experience.
I wasn't so sure what the green stuff was, but they slipped some on my plate one day, and now I won't have a meal without guacamole. Still can't spell it.
At El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, if you have questions, they give you the answers in English. Mexican and American foods, affordable prices, and fast service. Try it today, El Cazador, Main Street, Altavista.
More live high school sports action on 105.5 KD Country.
Subway postgame show returns here from Altavista High School, 92-40. The Colonels get the big win. I'm Kyle Haney. He's Oscar Briggs. I tell you what, Agent Zero, this scene and then the scene after the game, the scenes during the game, that's everything that's right about high school basketball. I mean, the fans are into it. They're behind their ball club. When they give Coach Cartolaro the game ball for the 400th win, everybody on their feet. Then the fans just surround the team as they're walking to the locker room. Everybody wants to give them high fives and slap on the back. And, again, it's young and old out there, too, that want to get a piece of this Colonel team. It's a great atmosphere in here tonight.
Well, it is, and you see a lot of the old players that, you know, that helped to get those 400 victories for Coach Cartolaro are in the gym and in attendance just almost every night. There's somebody here.
Yeah.
From one of those old teams. You know, our old buddies Rondell Dew's in the building tonight, Devin McCray again, Vincent Myers, of course, he has reason to be here.
Oh, yeah.
Boy, I'm just at a loss for words, Kyle, for the performance that the Colonels put on tonight. And you got to put that behind them now.
Yep, going to take on the winner of Surrey and Lancaster. Again, two good ball clubs. Don't know if we got a score from down there in the eastern part of the state just yet or not, but we've got some more time here in the Subway post-game show. We'll try and get it figured out and have an opponent identified for you. We do know the location of the ball game. It'll be at William Campbell High School in Naroona. And as Oscar said earlier, I couldn't have said it any better, still a local game. Get on out to that ball game. I'm telling you, folks, if you're listening right now, if you're just a basketball fan, if you're, a player for another team, whatever, if you're within earshot of my voice, get to William Campbell on Friday and watch this ball club. You will not regret it. They put on a show every time they step on the hardwood. They scored 65 points in a half tonight. They scored 40 points in the first quarter. And, that's not like the defense was shabby out there, Oscar. I mean, they just wrapped up Middlesex. A lot of those points came off of defense, turnovers. How many dunks did Thornhill have? I lost count. There was a right-handed jam. There was a couple alley-oop jams. There was the Dominique Wilkins reverse.
That was a rock the cradle jam.
Rock and cradle pump jam.
I think he had 5.
I think he had 5 dunks, too. Incredible. He does it so often that it's hard to keep track.
Well,
it's crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
and again, the defense tonight was just incredible. They from the opening tap until they closed them out, the defense was strangling. I don't see a score.
Okay.
I do officially now Galax 50, Radford 37, so that is a final. Another final from our buddies in the Dogwood District, Dan River 57, Grundy 34. So congratulations to the Wildcats on advancing to another state semifinal as well.
Yeah, Wildcats are fierce. They've made a home in the state tournament for the last about 6 or 7 years. They're back there again. Looking forward to seeing some of their ball games while we're up in Richmond, hopefully. And the Colonels, well, they're pretty much in the same boat. They're headed back to the Siegel Center Monday. Got to play the region championship game Friday at William Campbell. We said start time at 6:30. We're going to try and confirm that in our next timeout right here. Let's talk about Galax for a second, Oscar. Everybody all season had been talking about, Radford Altavista. And what did you and I say? We said, hey, they both have big bullseyes. Everybody wants to knock them off. Galax did it tonight. And don't forget, Galax was a state semifinalist last year as well. Lost to the Altavista Colonels. We saw that one. You heard that one live on 105.5. That's a repeat matchup, and you can bet Galax remembers that. Galax is going to say, hey, we knocked off Radford. Why can't we knock off Altavista? Not that they'll necessarily get matched up, but I'm just saying it's possible.
They're absolutely possible, and we've seen those games where those memories are not that short. They remember what happened. They remember who knocked them out, and there's a lot of emotion with those games. It can happen. High school basketball, again, this time of year, you get down to the Final Four, and anything can happen.
Yep, we know two of those Final Four. One of them, the Altavista Colonels. The other, Galax Maroon Tide. We'll work on some more scores as we sit here. Some of those games might not be finished up yet. Let's take one more quick timeout. We'll bring it back with the scores. There'll be a lot of them, personal stat totals for everybody tonight. Some more analysis from Oscar and I, and then we'll send you off to some more great country music. The Altavista Colonels, big winner here tonight on a region semifinal game, 92-40. Coach Cartolaro gets his 400th win. You heard it all live on 105.5 KD Country.
Life happens. Divorce, family problems, criminal charges, civil litigation, personal injury cases. Turn to David W. Shreve, an experienced attorney at law. David W. Shreve has been practicing law for 30-plus years. Free consultation for personal injury cases. Call today, 369-6621. 369-6621. David W. Shreve. Good luck to the Altavista basketball team in the playoffs. Go Colonels. David W. Shreve, located 7th Street, Altavista.
Virginia's oldest and most experienced bus company, Sunny Merriman Incorporated, along with their employees and families, joined together to congratulate the Altavista High School athletic teams for their outstanding sports seasons. Sunny Merriman wishes you the best in the playoffs and in your quest to bring home more state championship trophies to our community. Go Colonels, make us proud.
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Subway post-game show returns here from Altavista High School. Remember the Simple Six menu at Subway. Delicious $6 6-inch options. And it's, again, all that and a bag of chips as the best 6-inch sandwich options are available to you with the bag of chips in a 21-ounce strength for just $6. That's the Simple Six menu. And remember, folks, 3 great locations for Subways of Altavista to serve you now. Main Street, also in the Walmart, Clarion Road, and then our new location, Foster Fields, Route 29 North, there in Rustburg. Convenient for everybody now. That's going to be cool when we do win with Subway, too, Oscar, because some of those folks that live in Lynchburg might be easier to use at that Foster Fields location.
That's right. And we just got confirmation, Dean Hubbard, that the game Friday will be at 6:30.
Okay. Surrey is the opponent, right?
Surrey is the opponent.
That's a familiar opponent for the Colonels as well, a team that has been in some state Final Fours in recent history, too.
That's the regional final last year, which Surrey had a 36-30 lead at the half, and Colonels had to turn it on and really took command in the second half as well.
And gets back to exactly what you were saying, another one of those teams where you're going to remember that. The revenge factor is going to be there. Sometimes when you get between the lines, that revenge factor kind of gets evaporated. You're just worried about that game. But maybe in your preparation, maybe when you're leading up to it, maybe that does help motivate you a bit. We'll see what Surrey has in store for the Altavista Colonels. got a feeling that's going to be a great ball game. Surrey is fun to watch, too.
Yeah, they are fun to watch, and they're well coached, and they're always athletic. And that should be. I'm already looking forward to it.
I can tell. Fire out those final post-game scoring numbers for us. Like I said, it's a lot of them for the Colonels. They win 92-40.
And we'll start with number 1, Michi Malbach with 6, Warren with 15. Donovan Montague with 6, Mateo Malbach with 4, Demetrius Johnson with 19, Darius with 26, Chancellor Mormon with 2, Jordan Witcher with 3, Nelson Dews with 5, Josh McClure with 8. Total of 92 points for the Colonels. For the Middlesex Chargers is Raekwon Marshall with 10, Sean Johnson with 8, Andre Campbell with 5, Cornell Bagby with 1, Marquez Holmes with 10, and Drake Key with 6.
Why don't you read those stats for us there, Oscar? That's a joke dating back to last night when I somehow had a blank spot, gray matter on my brain there. I forgot that Oscar did the stats, but man, that's impressive stuff. And again, I talked about Thornhill's exploits. It was really everybody. Darius Johnson and Demetrius Johnson, well, they were just manhandling people on the inside, running the floor well, too, rebounding well. Jordan Witcher with the big 3 at the end. I don't know if we gave that full credit. The crowd got as excited when Jordan Witcher hit the 3 at the buzzer as they did on some of those Thornhill dunks. Everybody went crazy. The bench went crazy. I even saw a fist pump from Coach Cartolaro. Everybody loves Jordan. They root hard for him. He got in there and knocked down a big 3, got his name in the scorebook, and, hey, got the Colonels up to 92 points, which I think is pretty cool as well.
Yeah, that brought them to their season high. And, again, there were several spots in the game where the Colonels milked the clock and just, were very patient on the offensive end and held the ball for a minute and a half, 2 minutes. They could have hit 100 tonight. And, not that means anything, but
sure.
They total domination against the Middlesex Chargers tonight.
Again, Middlesex scored first. Thornhill answered quickly with a 3, and that was pretty much all she wrote. Like I said, Middlesex might have seen the taillights for a while, but after that, it was just a cloud of dust, and then it wasn't long before the Colonels were on some other racetrack somewhere.
Just got an instant replay, slow-motion instant replay of Juan Thornhill's favorite play of the game, and it wasn't a dunk.
Looked like it was one of those passes.
It was the between the legs pass. He just did his slow motion for his girlfriend, and recreated that little play for him, and that brought a big grin on his face. Special game tonight for that kid.
What a night! What a career! What a player! Thornhill. What a career for Coach Mike Cartolaro at Altavista. Got his 400th win at Altavista. They'll be going for 401 on Friday. Again, that game is at 6:30. That game is at William Campbell High School. The Surrey Cougars are the opponent for Altavista. And like we said, a familiar one. Rematch from the region championship game last year. Really hope you'll join us for that one. Subway pregame show on around 6:10. Don't worry, Oscar. I haven't forgot the Chris Owen Player of the Game Award. How could we forget Chris Owen? I forgot some other stuff, but I didn't forget that. Let's start it off. I'm going to go first, as I usually do, for the Middlesex Chargers. I am going to go with number 10, Raekwon Marshall. He was the freshman guard, 10 points. Played hard out there, just a freshman. I hope we get a chance to see him down the road when his game has some seasoning.
Yeah, very promising, very athletic, quick, heady ball player. Nice pick. I'm going to go a little bit different route. I'm going to go with Marquez Holmes. Nice 4-game tonight for him as well. He had 10 points, played solid, hit a couple of nice shots, and Marquez Holmes for me. Now, for the Colonels.
Now it gets tough. You want me to go first? You want to go first?
You're
having a hard time deciding who should
go
go first?
I know what I'm going to do. You go first, though.
All right. I'm going to go first. I loved what everybody did. It was a team effort. It's got to be a team effort when you score 92 points. But Juan Thornhill, the Magic Man, the human highlight reel, E.A. Thornhill, whatever you want to call him, he gets it done. The deuce was loose tonight. Incredible stuff. He didn't lead the team in scoring, but he led them in excitement. Again, honorable mention to both Johnson brothers. Honorable mention to everybody.
Boy, the dunks were electrifying. Some of the plays that he made, the playmaking plays, they were equally as electrifying.
Could have scored more if he wanted to, but he dished it a few times. Got the crowd into it. He does it all. Lee Cartolaro does it all, of course. The fabulous wife of Mike Cartolaro. Did she produce those signs that they had up there? I think that Red
Sure
400. I believe she did. We can use those for the one Thornhill dunk when he makes a dunk next time. Hold up a 1 and a 0.
Boy, and
you're still having a hard time over there. Again, this is the player of the game picks, folks. It was that kind of excitement tonight that you have to really think about it.
It was, and I'm gonna use a combo pick.
All right.
I'm gonna go with the seniors.
Nice.
And Mike Cartolaro.
Okay.
Hey, you get number 400 win at a school. You do the math. That's 20 wins, averaging 20 wins for 20 years. That's just phenomenal. And the guidance that he shows these kids, the patience that he shows these kids, the way he develops the program, integrates the JV program into the varsity program and makes them feel like they're part of this team. You can't underestimate that as well. And let's face it, at a single A school with a coach the caliber of Coach Cartolaro, we know he's had offers to go to other schools. He's stayed here. AJ's not he's not the best one in the crowd as they try to recreate the 400 and they have 004.
Yeah, 004 on there. That was one of our secret agents.
And
like
that's a AJ Cartolaro, who is Mike's son, and again,
Ashley's over there as well. They're taking the family portrait. Not a lot of people can have that family portrait standing in front of a sign that reads 400, signifying the number of victories that Dad has.
Just, boy, again, as we talk about the Chris Owen player of the game, it was a team effort, and everybody contributed equally tonight. And Darius was phenomenal. Demetrius was phenomenal. Donovan was phenomenal. Michi on his floor game. It was just a total team effort. Remarkable.
It was. I know we've rambled a bit here on the Subway post-game show, but I think a game like this deserves a history-making moment tonight in a couple ways. Fun stuff for sure. And I like that pick of the seniors and then Coach Mike Cartolaro. That's definitely pretty good. Coach C's a little busy right now, or we'd have him come on over. But we'll just catch up with him in the Subway pregame show. Maybe we'll extend the Subway pregame show a bit. Friday is we'll get the chance to chat with the head man a little bit.
Yeah, I think you have to as you start, talk about the state tournament a little bit.
Yep, that's right. All right, that's going to wrap it up for us. Again, Colonel's back on the hardwood Friday, 6:30 tip-off at William Campbell. And I said it, so I'll stand by it. Early start time for the Subway pregame show. We'll start at 6 o'clock on Friday from Naruna. It'll be the Surrey Cougars in town. Colonels get the big win in this one, 92-40 over Middlesex. Coach Cartolaro's 400th victory. So glad that you could join us and want to go back and listen to this one on YouTube. And that, of course, is brought to you by Feller Chevrolet. A short drive will save you money. Also sponsoring this ball game, Sonny Merriman, Virginia's premier bus company. English Construction, wishing our high school athletes an exciting and injury-free game. Altavista Appliance, come visit them at their new location on 7th Street in Altavista. Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Services, a family serving families since 1905. Select Air Mechanical and Electrical, your authorized train dealer. It's hard to stop a train. David Shreve, attorney at law. When life happens, call David W. Shreve. English's, your complete home center and your Glidden Paint headquarters. El Cazador, great place for family and friends to dine. First National Bank, focus on providing an extraordinary customer experience. This has been the Subway post-game show. 3 great locations to eat fresh. Foster Fuels, Main Street, and then in the Walmart on the Clarion Road. No better place to celebrate a Colonel win than Subway. That's going to wrap it up for us. 92-40. Altavista wins. Next game Friday, 6:30 start from William Campbell. If you can't be there in person, be there with us on 105.5 or at kdcountry.com. Honky Tonk Jukebox with Sugar Daddy is on the way next. Get ready to hear some classic tunes that you haven't heard in a very long time, and it's all on 105.5 KD Country.